Hello, just gonna do a quick audio check real quick. Okay, I think we're good. Maybe. Yeah, we're probably fine. Although, maybe it's a bit quiet. Let me just up it real quick. This should be probably fine. Uh, like a, uh, hmm. About here, right? About here. Should be good, should be good. Okay, we should be good, right? So anyways, hello, it's been a while. Welcome back to the stream. We'll be doing the intervalo today. Okay, I really don't have like much to say to start us off, so I feel like we should just get into it. I'm also curious about this. I've seen this. Like I looked at like the front like menu of this, and I'm very curious about this. I wonder if it's like a new mechanic. Like these are interesting. The fact that these like tabs are locked. I am quite positively intrigued. But anyways. 8.5-1, the family hierarchs proof. By the way, I did get like I did shard Lord Hong Lu, and I used like the uptie 4 thing to get him straight to like uptie 4. The hall was chill with a tense air, and those present all sat in complete silence. Then there was Jia Yuan Chun, with her lips slightly curled into a mirthless sneer. And at the center of it all sat Jia Chi Chun, unsure of what to say next. Well, everyone, Jia, Chi- Jia Yuan Chun, seated next to the hierarch seat upon which Chi-Chun sat, smoothly takes control of the situation and begins the assembly. Honor the heads of the houses, lords of each family, their proxies, members, and she nods lightly, acknowledging our awkward presence. And little Chi-Chun's guests, who stay here at RH Corp, seems to be extending without a foreseeable end. Isn't she technically from Q Corp? What's up with her acting like she's any less of an outsider than we are? Yeah, and did everyone catch that? Our H Corp? Regardless of everything else, the fact that she hijacked the meeting from the get-go is ridiculous. Especially with Jia Chichun, the family hierarch herself, presiding over this official assembly. Clearly, she is using the pretense of assisting the hierarch to assert her own dominance over these proceedings. As we are all aware, venerable former Jamu was always discussed with and confided in me about the matters of the greatest import, the momentous of which steered the very course of H Corp's prospects. Even after I departed the family for Q Corp, venerable former Jamu had always written missives to confer such matters with me. Something about this smelled suspicious, but we'd already missed the window to challenge her to present us with proof without breaking decorum. Thus, as it naturally follows that I would be the inheritor of the venerable Jamu's will, I shall be presiding over this regular assembly, which we convene now to discuss and determine the future of H Corp. What a grandiose and self-important introduction. It seems clear to me that she considers herself to be the main character of the scene or something. We all know the main character is me, Dante of Dante's Inferno. Your Grace certainly befits your station, Lady Yuan-chun. We are all impressed by your utmost dedication to the citizenry of Hong Yuan, despite your already saturated schedule. We can hardly thank you enough for your magnanimity, Lady Yuan-chun. Ah, my parents, a true shame that they couldn't be here, have always sung praises of your expertise, Lady Yuan-chun. Responses from the participants are just as protracted, only obsequious, instead of arrogant. As heads of some of those houses were under investigation for consorting with the forces foreign to Hongyuan, their vacuum was filled by their children's generation, many of whom we'd had the pleasure of meeting during the family hierarch war. Very well, then shall we welcome Jia Chi-chun, the next person to sit upon the seat of Hongyuan's family hierarch. Greetings. I am... Now let us begin. For many years, all those who have gathered here have toiled day and night for the eternal prosperity and growth of H Corp. Jia Chi-chun's expression immediately sours as Yuan Chun unceremoniously cuts off her self-introduction. First on the agenda for this assembly are urgent discussions and passages of new major policy items that have been tabled for far too long. Distributive contribution rights, auctioning policies, quarterly amnesties policy. Hold on, big sister Yuan-chun. Passing the distributive contribution rights auctioning policy would allow the open auction for any remaining rooms the day before reconstruction days. And, the quarterly amnesty wouldn't do anything but give unfair advantage to certain families and high net worth individuals by
guaranteeing them large real estate assignments regardless of their performance in the previous quarter. Jachi Chun stutters a little, flustered before continuing. My point is, these policies are going to rattle H Corp's economy the moment they go into effect. Besides, these policies were pretty much drawn to favor lining the pockets of a selected few families and high-ranking officials of H Corp. Chi-chun, I think that's the point. Chi-chun, I think that's the point. I think that's what they're going for. Ahem, ahem. If I may, Venerable Hierarch, lining the pockets? That is quite an odd turn of phrase to refer to the bare minimum of respect the society might repay to its highest contributing members, don't you think? Oh, before we continue, Chichun, I'm not entirely certain if you're aware, but ever since the ascension of the new family hierarch, the perceived value of Hong Yuan has been racing to the lack for a better word, rock bottom. Oh dear. Oh god. The investors have lost faith. No. Stock prices are plummeting. It's because Cheat Chun is not marketable enough. Quickly. Quickly, we need to start making marketable plushies of Cheat Chun. We need marketable plushies. It's the only way to save Hong Yuan from bankruptcy. Genuinely speaking, though, if they did make Chi-Chun plushies, I would buy one. Project Moon, please get on with that. I would very much like a Chi-Chun plushie. Certainly, this demonstrates Hong Yuan's concern and its lack of faith in the newly appointed family hierarch. I see. So I think what you're trying to say is, please elect me for the new hierarch. Please, our new hierarch is incompetent. Please, I want to take over H Corp. Please allow me to take the seat. Please. I would like power. I would like monetary gain. I would like seize over our government. Please, I'm a better leader. I am the best leader. I'm the only true leader. Jia Yuan Shun for president 2025. Therefore, it naturally follows that our most urgent task at hand is to put a stop to this value and reputation freefall and restore prosperity and greatness to Hong Yuan once again. Yeah, okay, and that's the family hierarch's job, right? Where are you? If you had perused H Corp's articles of association, you would have known that, should H Corp be deemed to be in a state of crisis, the four great houses and the board of directors' voices may also carry de facto power in the assembly. Actually, I have the speaking here. I have the greater standing here. I know more about this than you, Chi-chun. Actually. And the board of directors, that's us, by the way, Chi-chun. You know, Chi-chun, we are the board of directors, you know? You know that? Uh-huh. You know, I doubt you would actually know that, considering your stature, which is probably equivalent to your own maturity and intellect. So allow me to grace you with knowledge, grace you with my wisdom. That I am one of the board of directors, has determined that we are now in a state of crisis. Yeah, Chichun, we are in a state of crisis. I doubt you would understand what that means. Because you're probably in kindergarten, isn't that right? It's been a while since I've met you. So I'm only assuming that you're like 5 years old. State of crisis? What crisis? Everything that led to my ascension to the family hierarchy was legitimate, down to the final approval. These unseemly rumors and slander are taking our value, which we have built assiduously through years upon years of toil. So what is this, if not a state of crisis? Chi-chun, they are canceling us on Twitter. They are having a hashtag, down with the hierarch. Chi-chun, don't you see? Just because you are small and cute and funny doesn't mean that they will dismiss our our past crimes and the allegations that fell before us. In fact, they are incriminating you as well. Don't you see, Chi-chun? The fault lies with you, Chi-chun. Don't you see? You are not marketable enough. You are not cute and funny enough. Chi-chun, I regret to inform you, but this is tanking our sales. And who wouldn't doubt the new family hierarch's qualities when this decline has coincided precisely with her ascension? Don't you see? Chi-chun, correlation does always mean causation. Chi-chun. Jia Yuan-chun was somehow turning the room against Chi-chun without presenting a single shred of evidence, portraying her as some burdensome hierarch who was single-handedly taking H-Corp's value. Chi-chun, don't you see? I have updated the autopsy report! Your autopsy report is outdated, Chi-chun! I have the upper leg here. I have burned off my fingertips in the chemical factory. No one in the assembly, not a single representative from any family present, stepped out to point out how Jia Chi-chun's swift actions were what finally repelled the outside forces that had marched right up to Hong Yuan's front yard. Or how she deftly maneuvered her forces to quell the embers of war by quickly taking control of the chaos within Dang Yuan. He hadn't shown any glaring signs of incompetence since her ascension, despite her relative inexperience, but everyone in Hong Yuan's board of directors, the head of each family, averted their eyes as though all of that somehow inconceivably slipped their minds. Listen, man, we're using a public defender here. We need to hire, an actual lawyer. Because this is slander and defamation. We could sue her for this. We need to sue her. Quickly. She's gaslighting us. She's gatekeeping us. And she's being too much of a girl boss. Quickly, Chi-chun. You must rise above. You must gaslight, gatekeep, and girl boss your way to victory, Chi-chun. So you take yourself to be a qualified individual for that responsibility, Chi-chun? Very well, then proceed. Chi-chun, no. She's instilling doubt into you, Chi-chun. We are all waiting for you to begin your briefing before the assembly regarding the last 30 years quarterly net review records of Hong Yuan singularity-related businesses. Your calculations on next year's fiscal debt forecast, and the exact recipe and variation numbers for the bonuses that have registered in the last 5 years. The Venerable Hierarch has not received the data report for the meeting. You must all be aware of the chaos that followed the ascension. We are still indexing all available materials too. Isn't that funny? Not once in the history of Hong Yuan has the family hierarch ever failed to provide immediate and detailed answers regarding Hong Yuan's historical statistics. Because, all of their memories were transplanted into each other through worming. You have yet to deworm any of your previous hierarchs. Our current hierarch is the only one that's been dewormed, excuse me. I'm not sure if he actually knows that information or not. Knowing how she said previously that she was close with Zhao Mu,
Uh, so, hmm, so she might have known about like everything going on with like the worm and stuff. So maybe that's what she's trying to do here, trying to use her information and the lack of information of everyone else to dissuade everyone to make her the leader instead of Chi-chun. Or she doesn't know and she's just an asshole. Jia Yuan-chun must have known all along too. She must have known how the previous family hierarchs were all directly supplied with an immense repository of information through the Zhanhuang worm, or something of the equivalent. Yeah. So we are just gonna assume that she does know, and she's using it to target Chi Chun's weakness, knowingly asking questions she, the first family hierarch without the Anamna worm, could possibly answer. The responsibilities tied to the venerable seat of the hierarch Jamu are matched only by the great power bestowed upon it. Thus, how are we to leave the matters of the wings to someone who is so evidently unprepared for the task? Given the present circumstances, our hands may be forced to call a vote, the motion of no confidence. You can do that? The motion of no confidence? Wait, you can just do that? A motion of no confidence, when passed by the high ranking of political officials, can result in the removal of the chief executive from office. So they're going after Chi-chun's power. I mean, that's clearly obvious. So this is the picture Jia Yuan-chun wanted to paint. Impotent family hierarch stammering and stumbling through her first meeting to the total and near unanimous lack of support from H Corp board of directors. Whatever jargon they're on about, seems to me that they've got not an ounce of respect for the lass or us. Never trust twats overly obsessed with numbers and optimizations. They'll be the first ones to kick you out the moment they no longer see you as useful. You're not the only one who's pissed off. So, can you please stop shaking your leg for a second? Don't need to make our frustrations any more obvious, you know? My ass would have left the chair long ago if it weren't for this lass. In H Corp, should the board of directors unanimously vote in favor of the motion, certain parts of the family hierarch power will be removed. It is entirely possible that she will become a hierarch in name only. Oh, so they're threatening to fire her unless she falls in line. This is some needlessly convoluted way to... The assembly will now consider the motion of no confidence. Are there any objections to bring the motion of no confidence against family hierarch Jia Chi-chun to the floor? Hold on. The vote of no confidence isn't an item you can invoke so lightly. The Shi family has no objections. Of course, I don't even remember your name, man. Let's say the Wang family has no objections either. Zhu family too. No, Bao Chai! No! No! I can't believe this. She really has been coerced. Unbelievable. The arrest of the previous family heads seems to have changed precisely nothing. Those in power wore more youthful faces, but their tongues still carried the same old resistance to change. The new family heads were just as uncooperative as ever, and everyone seemed to be solely interested in staying in Jia Yuan-chun's good graces. New faces, same old. And needless to say, Heathcliff wasn't the only sinner fuming with rage. Uh-oh. Here comes La Criatura. I'm gonna drink water because I know whatever she's gonna say I need energy for.
'Tis far too vexing simply to watch and do not. Right? I knew you wouldn't let this hide, Don Quixote. You're walking all over Chichon like he's not even here. Forsooth, we cannot let such injustice transpire unabated. Hey, seems like we're both on the same page. That's it. I'm not gonna hesitate to make myself heard again. This time, I want to be courageous. With your help, Don Quixote. Come on, let's do this together. Okay?
Don Claire shippers eat your heart out?
Very well! I am in agreement. Yeah, let's go on three. At the same time.
I bet they're not gonna say the same thing.
If there are no objections. 1, 2. The Assembly will put this to a resolute vote in a month. And 3. Objection!
Take that!
Oh, bloody hell! Oi, have you gone mental? Sinclair stood tall at the center of the entire room's undivided astonishment. Alone. Eh? Don Quixote, still firmly in her seat, gazed upon Sinclair's proud stand and rubbed her nose. Duh. Young Sinclair! Thou hast evolved indeed! What unmitigated pursuer of justice thou hast become! With such unrelenting fervor and an utter disregard for decorum! Certainly mine efforts have finally borne fruit! What? What the hell? Did Don Quixote or Heathcliff suddenly rub off on you or something? No, wait, no! What happened there, Don Quixote? We were going to... What happened to objecting together? Oh? I had taken thy suggestion to mean that we must voice our dissatisfaction through the official channels, bearing the titles of the illustrious Red Jays in the Department of LCC.
Well, Don Quixote has sure shown character development. Wow, instead of pursuing it on her own, she's actually using reasonable means. She's actually... wow! She's actually being reasonable and actually trying to go through, like, the appropriate channels and going through, like, the appropriate, like, methods to try to voice your opinion in such a reasonable and dignified manner.
Sinclair, you should be more like Don Quixote. I can't believe you would do this, Sinclair.
Sinclair, I can't believe you would do this. Going in, shouting your own, moving at your own pace, without any respect for the current circumstances. Unbelievable, Sinclair. How could you? How could you shouting your own justice at the top of your lungs without any consideration of the circumstances and what you could possibly do in a more dignified manner? Unbelievable, Sinclair. Disputes in such succession of power on such a high level of government are hardly ever resolved with rash grandstanding. Would thou not agree? Why are you normal all of a sudden? Lad, what just happened? What happened to the clammy meat boy? Listen, after the body swap episode, I think he's rubbed off. I think a part of Heathcliff stayed with Sinclair. Well, that's... I guess I just assumed that this is how Limbus Company rolls now. There seems to have been an unexpected outburst from Kichun's guest.
Withdraw your objection, and we will consider this a momentary loss of control and not enter it as an official statement. Uh, um, it was, um... Sinclair's eyes were shaking like someone with his life on the line. Sinclair, you've gone in too deep. Commit, Sinclair! Commit! If not, I take it that you have full confidence in her abilities. So please, I encourage you to elaborate. When and how will Chi Chun demonstrate her aptitude for the responsibilities of the family hierarch? I, um, I... His voice continues to shrivel into a corner. He can't. And how could anyone? How could anyone when we all had a very clear view of her path to ascension? During the family hierarch evaluation, Jia Baoyu donated the coins he received from Jia Qiyu to you. Essentially, you pity-partied your way to victory. Pity-partied? And with your ascension, Jia Qiyu and those outsiders from an absurd company had to, almost literally, carry you to the seat. Has there even been a single victory attained by your own hands in that entire process? Ah, but we have not all been witnesses to the qualities she exhibited during the family hierarch evaluation and her own ascension. You must have no shame shaking your forked tongue in the audience of both heaven and earth like an unwitting buffoon. That's when quiet, even footsteps broke through Jia Yuanchun's merciless dismantling of Jia Chichun. Yet I see the point. The hierarch, with her grace, needs only demonstrate her already established qualifications before all. This is no place for an outsider to speak. But proceed. How will she prove herself before us? Says you, call it the kettle calling the pot black. Jesus Christ. What an odd statement coming from a fellow outsider who's been chattering for minutes on end. Forgive me, but I can only presume from your verbosity that the right to speak in this forum was open to all outsiders. You're not the only one who's allowed to yap, you know. You have said it yourself, no? That the vote on the no confidence resolution will proceed in a month. That seems to give the venerable hierarch a month to regain the trust of each family. What? It is rather clear to me that there are many who find their own defeat in the family hierarch war difficult to accept. Such a doubt is easily resolved. A match between clans should lay out the results quite obviously. Very well, a fair challenge between clans, which would preclude the preparation of the family hierarch's Heishu packs and the Jianlan guards. So you would remove her Hao cannon and Ju chariot before the game even begins. Why not make this test a series of sparring matches in both academia and martial arts, if such is the case? Ha! What audacity! Do you truly believe that much faith in Jia Chichun's ability? You must have known the consequences of failing these matches, no? It would be an unanimous, one-sided end to the vote of no confidence, and naturally, any and all rights appertaining to the family hierarch shall be transferred to the board of directors. That's fine by us. You're free to choose any champion whom you see fit. Unfortunately, your underlings don't seem to share your inflated confidence. But in the midst of the confused, flabbergasted silence from the other sinners, a clear, carefree, yet defiant voice rings out. Hong Lu's retort. Speak your mind, Hong Lu! Speak! Let us hear what's on your mind! That's not true at all, big sister Yuan Chun. We actually have just as much confidence in Chi Chun as she does. with his wide eyes stare directly and unblinkingly into Jia Yuanchun's. It occurred to me that this might be his way of expressing anger. Impudent child. How dare he stare me down like that? Then you are welcome to try. 1 month. You've but 1 month to prove before all an audience that she is, indeed, fit to be the family hierarch. Should you fail, the vote may as well be a mere formality. In other words, should she successfully prove herself, none of you shall again rightly challenge the independent rights and power bestowed upon the family hierarch. The consequences of such recalcitrance would be no different from those of the traitors are facing, wouldn't you agree? Well then, we will excuse ourselves now. Wait, I'm... Zigong turns towards us, with the same mysterious smile, and slowly directs us outside the assembly hall. We may call them sparring matches, but you must know that each and every one of them is a test to prove your claim to the seat of the family hierarch. A month is a time far too brief for drastic improvement, regardless of for whom it may be. Learning from a proper master for 10 months straight might teach you a few things, but who knows how long the search for one such master might take. Not to mention the official channels through which you must bring them past Dong Yuan's walls, which may take up 2 months, may not relent now, and relinquish but a part of your powers as the family hierarch to the board of directors. It seems that this fellow outsider's mental faculties are impressively lacking. Sit down, you uncultured swine. You clearly have no tact. Now quit your yappin' and let Chi Chun mog her way to victory. My lord has spoken in the past that, when in the presence of 3 people, at least one of them is bound to be a teacher of mine. And here they are, aren't they? Jia Chi Chun's masters, each carrying something new to teach her. All 13 of them. Jigong gestured confidently towards the flabbergasted sinners, and the assembly came to an end. I didn't know we were qualified teachers. When did we get our license? "12 teachers, not including Sinclair, because he is currently a student." We are planning to train Jia Chi Chun anyway, but it seems that we are now under an unexpected deadline. Hey, when you said the LCB was going to help me out, did you guys mean that you were going to publicly humiliate the crap out of me at the assembly? Of course not, Chi-chan. Big sister Yuan Chun's an old snake. You've just given her 30 days to set the perfect stage for my downfall, to prove to the world that once and for all, that I'm not qualified at all to be the family hierarch. But Chi-chan, weren't you always so good at humbling anyone who dared underestimate you? Not so much anymore. Back then, like an idiot, I thought I had to hold on with everything I had. I thought that's all I ever had to do. But now... Now... Things are different. It's true that I'm vastly underqualified to be the family hierarch, and she's right. I pretty much lucked into this position. Chi-chun, don't let that woman's bullshit. Don't tell me that woman's bullshit actually got to you. Well, she wasn't completely wrong, right? I'm just some kid who happened to be just good enough to survive some traps and ambushes. I'm afraid that the responsibility of a family hierarch might just be too much.
Her self-confidence has been slightly decreased compared to the observation of our previous interaction.
The heck, Chichon? I don't remember you being this kind of character. What happened to the girl who looked down on us the moment we met? You ever had the audacity to... You even had the audacity to pretend to not know who we were, didn't ya? Where'd all that confidence go, girl? That actually got under her skin back then, huh? So, Chichun, what do you want to do? Are you sure you're okay with this? Are you okay with letting this happen? If I let it happen, Big Sister Yuan Chun's going to continue expanding her influence here. I'm sure she and the board of directors have been cozying up to each other for a long time.
Is the implication that her testament on her influence were true?
Yep, it's true. Before she left for Q Corp, Big Sister Yuan Chun used to always accompany Jiamu to these assemblies. If we just let them hold the vote with no confidence, they're going to unanimously vote against me and slowly reduce the family hierarchy's scope of power. And who knows, they might even call for reevaluation. However unlikely that sounds. Besides, Big Sister Yuan Chun, I think her definition of Hong Yuan's prosperity might be different from mine. What she's looking for isn't Hong H Corp's prosperity, it's Dagyuan Yuan's. And I know this is all something to do with its ties to Q Corp, which I bet has already been going on for a while, just under my radar. I'm sure they've already had plenty of talks behind my back. Which is not the kind of vision you have for Hong Yuan's future, right? And that's why you spoke up against her. My vision for Hong Yuan is... I want to change H Corp to be the kind of place where people can live without fear. I just never imagined I'd have to prove myself like this. And in only 30 days. Even then, your vision hasn't changed, right? It hasn't. Great, great. So it's decided then, huh? We just need Pao to deliver the bad news to Sod. So, to summarize, the responsibility of training Chi-Chun to win these matches, these amorphous tests, upon which hinges the family hierarchy's fate, and almost every facet of which is entirely under Jia Yuan Chun's control, by the way, and is probably a trap within the next 30 days, is ours. And we have to explain that to Sod. Wow, that sounds like a lot of work when you put it like that. Postmortem reports have become quite route. Sometime later. Prithee, thou must impress upon the illustrious Red Case that wasn't mine idea this time. Sinclair stared blankly at Don Quixote as she made her desperate plea towards Sod. Don Quixote, I trusted you. I can't believe you put me under the bus, Don Quixote. Yes, I understand that well. For the 8th time. As always, Sod was wearing the same refreshingly incomprehensible smile. The kind of smile that makes people increasingly anxious the longer it lasts. Well, that gives us about 30 days, during which those sparring matches, tests, whatever, will be happening as well. Great. Let's give it our best. Sinclair muttered in a near whisper, clearly feeling responsible for what happened. Yes, I understand. I never should have stepped out of line like that. But something just... Yeah, so let's give it our best. So let's give give it our best. I totally agree. We messed everything up again. And what? What? Limbus Company was always going to remain here and assist Miss Jatitun acclimatize herself to the responsibilities of the family hierarchy. It was always part of our plan. Well, I sure am glad that I took Faust's advice about how meticulous planning is completely pointless when it comes to LTB's missions. I never would have had I would have never had to submit 9 separate disciplinary incident reports back during the J Corp incident had I known. Hmm. I believe I should be able to explain this further. Prior to his departure, my lord is concerned that such a thing would come to pass. That is why he has left Zilu and I here to look after the new family hierarch's position, which must still be on a rather thin ice. Oh, so that's why they were privately talking. That's what they were privately talking about when he pulled them aside. Doing nothing and allowing her wicked machinations to progress would have irrevocably made the entire board of directors by not but putty in Yuan Chun's hands. And that would have led to that snake to de facto assume the seat of the family hierarch. Against such an insidious foe who wields intrigue as her weapon, the most viable strategy is the most direct one, to challenge her head on. Besides, has this not given you the excuse you need to prolong your company's stay in Huan? This is also a prime opportunity for Jati Jin to further solidify her influence here. Depending on the outcome of the vote of no confidence, they have played right into our hands by accepting this deal. So I don't want to rain on everyone's parade, but are we not even gonna consider what might happen if we fail? No, we are not, because you will not fail. Not with us aiding your efforts. Also, were you serious back there when you said that we were all going to teach Jati-chun? All 12 of us? I won't object to selecting only a few of us be better with better aptitude to be educators, like myself, obviously. Ah, by the way, we already have an established internal hierarchy based on the sum of each of our abilities. Of course, the results were entirely to my satisfaction, due to an unexpected incident. Miss Otis, that is a statement mired in narrowed vision, rife with factual infractions. I am of the stance that the qualities of a good teacher are defined not by such statistics. Also, if your basis is based on whatever happened during our evaluation back at Lobotomy Corp, I would like to say that me, uh, that those results are solely based uh, on some testing that was uh, uh previously uh not uh that testing that isn't that isn't to our current uh state. What I'm trying to say is uh we need a reevaluation. So you must be the one who placed last in that scale. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, uh, well, you see, last is only based on perspective. As in my perspective, I believe that I am a bit more than simply last place. Uh, Besides, Gregor here wasn't even on the ranking. uh, just don't say anything, but best not to send out like a sore thumb. I may have overreacted then. M- my lord has said that from the virtues we may learn to replicate their merits. From the flawed we may learn to avoid their failings. As long as the students is Kunt is willing to learn. Anyone, anything can be a teacher. I also, to embrace this teaching, seek from all those who we come across. Just what in heavens are you doing? Ah ha ha! I am preparing a lesson plan for young Chichun, our family hierarch. Wow, you sure got on that fast. So, what are these yellow wormy things here? Aha! 'Tis a star! Twinkling in its radiance! According to the schedule you have prepared, the student will also have negative 3 hours available for sleep. This lesson plan's execution will require cooperation from P-Corp. Yeah! 'Twould be a mistake most fatal indeed! I shall correct it post-haste! Zigong was staring at Don Quixote's expression of her wild artistic merit upon the curriculum with her usual crescent moon eyes. Wait, is that supposed to be Zigong's grimace? Of course. Each to their own, I suppose. I need not be shaken by every little thing until we have their actual lesson plans in hand. Hey, thanks for putting your faith in us, Zigong. We barely have any of that to go around ourselves, so I understand it couldn't be very easy. Have been very easy. You could say that I have learned my lesson. The recent events have taught me that the path of learning is truly one without end.
Okay, I can't wait for Don Quixote's uh like but like 32-hour a day lecture on fixers. Let's see, like 12 hours in, we're still only at like grade 9 fixer level. So anyways, by the way, there was this random guy that I've heard of with a black suit. I bet he's nothing to be noteworthy about, but I could be wrong. He's simply a grade 9 fixer after all. Another student, which is Sinclair.
I see that you have all individually worked on your lesson plans as per Zigong's request. I have received a total of 12 lesson plans.
Oh, easy, look.
Hold on. Shouldn't there be 13 of them? Even executive manager has decided to spare their precious time to teach a class. Yeah, I handed in my lesson plan too. That's because... so... Who didn't do their homework? After a brief silence, everyone turned around and looked at one of the sinners. Heathcliff!
Heathcliff, did you fail to turn on your report in time? Heathcliff, you know there's no extensions on the deadline. Heathcliff, this is like the third time you've done this semester. We might have to drop you. Heathcliff, if you keep doing this, you might, we might have to expel you from our class, as your presence alone is greatly impacting the knowledge gained by our students. You understand, right, Heathcliff?
It ain't me. Oh, please. At least try to make a compelling argument. Who else other than you could it possibly... It's me. You think? You've been acting out of character a lot recently. What's going on? Well, that's, Sinclair was drenched in sweat for some reason. Actually, In Sinclair's seat was a large stack of papers, each filled to the brim with writing. Sinclair, are these papers... Oh, I'm done.
I guess is Sinclair going back to school?
Sorry, I got too into making a lesson plan and just couldn't stop myself from writing. Oh, never mind. He must have spent. He. I see. He hasn't submitted it because he was making so much of a lesson plan. I see. Sinclair couldn't have appeared more proud to be placed. Uh, Proud as he placed the big bundle of sweat-soaked papers in Zilu's hands. And she received it with mild trepidation. Um, you see, you seem to have dedicated quite the momentous effort in drawing up this lesson plan. What's up with her? Let's start reviewing from the first of the stack. 108 analytical approaches to an astits. Astits? I'm not familiar with this word. With words. With an astits. AAA. Triple A. What does AAA mean? And how do you plan to explore all 108 approaches in a month? Appreciation of artistry and assassinations. Artistry and assassinations. Wait. Ryoshu? Are these Ryoshus? Wait, hold on. I just need to confirm. Sinclair submitted this, right? Oh no. F you. Went too far. Uh, right. Sorry. Flip a page and continue reading. For those 108 approaches. What paint did you use? It's quite viscous, and the paper has partially melded. Ugh, lady, watch yourself. You almost got some on my arm. Aha, a painting. See, is Zilu? Entrails. Coding. The world. I see that this is how Zilu is really like, away from her duties. Heh. Now you know how I'm getting okay, that's aesthetics. So it's aesthetics. Es, I'm sorry. I promise I'm not dyslexic. It's just I have trouble reading. You now you know how aesthetics appreciate the artistry of slaughter. Just what the hell did you paint in that paper? Hey, get it together. Zilu stumbled briefly. Whatever was on the paper must have given her quite the shock. My mind wandered for a moment. Also, I noticed that she has a bunny pin. Oh my god, that's cute. This is too dangerous to be used for a lesson. Thus, it goes to the discard pile. Weak sauce. Zilu crumpled up the paper without hesitation and tossed it out of sight. Next. Intro to Societal Reintegration. Quite impressive title. Chapter 1. How to shake hands with your left hand when the situation calls for it. Chapter 2. Exploration of exclusively long-sleeved fashion and practices. Chapter 3. Projecting confidence and why having a bug projecting confidence and why having a bug arm is totally cool. Okay, I'm guessing these are the lessons from the sinners. And not just Sinclair's. That's what I'm assuming. I'm guessing that Sinclair really just didn't send the lesson plan. And Zilu is just, like, reporting on, like, everyone else's work. I see. And why having a bug arm is totally cool is insane. I love that, Gregor. How to shake arm. How to shake hands with your left hand. Why long sleeve fashion is really cool. Why having a bug arm is totally in fashion nowadays. That's, you know how it is. Be proud of who you are, all that philosophy stuff. I wanted this lesson to give a bit of a paradigm shift where we can all come to see our flaws, not as failings, but as evidence of our individuality. Yeah, that, definitely. By the way, uh, just saying, the bug arm is, pretty neat. It's not gross at all, you know? Uh, uh, it can do a bunch of stuff. It can cut things, like apples and fruit. It can make from mean skewer. It's also pretty practical and can like regenerate really quickly. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The bug arm is cool. It's cool and it's not disgusting. Come on, believe me. Which it will usher in a world where we can carry on our lives, no matter what kind of arm we have. Discarded next. Vila quickly flipped through the pages. Intro to Denigrative Linguistics. Subheading: The power of words. Sticks and stone may break their bones, so let's add words to the pile. My credentials include My credentials include the ability to dress down an opponent so hard that they fall to their knees and beg me to stop. I have plans for applications as well. The lesson teaches methods pertaining to disguising compliments criticisms, in criticisms, and vice versa. All of this seems rather difficult to learn. I have concluded from my hitherto observations that Jati Chun is an individual of great promise in this field. Follow my instructions to a T, and I guarantee you that this cadet shall be able to have the upper hand in any verbal confrontations. Is this curriculum gonna make the best brawler or the best family hierarch out of me? Zilo seemed quite interested, but Jachi Chun's vehement veto eventually overruled that suggestion. On Justice, another impressive title. Subheading: Methodologies of captivating an entire room of preoccupied audience. Discard. Not even giving it the time of day, damn! Fee! Fi on D! Wherefore? Next. Practice of ego splitting. The C songs. Practice of ego splitting concerning intermirror conflict between the self and the reflection, and paradoxically fractured theory of idealism in which one attempts to open an opening door to open the door. You called? Utterly incomprehensible. Discard. Perhaps Miss Ryoshu's advice to truncate the lesson title should have been taken in earnest. Survival and exploration. I'm guessing this is Ishmael's. I also want to see, is that like, does it spell out anything if you do like truncate it? Or like, turn it into like an anagram or like something? Not anagram. What was it called? Like, I'm not good with words. It's where you take the first letter of the word and just combine it to something. It spells nothing.
Moving on. Survival and exploration. 21 reasons to pay attention when the exploration team leader is giving advice on upcoming adventure. Case study for 30 horrible mistakes that occurred because the team was distracted during the leader's lecture. How to track down a troublemaker who tries to sweep trouble under the rug while the team leader isn't looking. Someone ignored my advice that we should have been moving 2 steps ahead. Finally, I've narrowed them down to 3 culprits. Hold on. Let me look at that again. Who tries to sweep trouble under the rug while the team leader isn't looking. Someone ignored my advice that we should have been moving 2 steps ahead. Finally, I've narrowed them down to 3 culprits. Oh wait, I forgot to take that part out. And into the shredder it went. When did that paper shredder get there? The art of using yawning as a cover for popping a cookie or two in your mouth, especially useful when getting lectured. Hey, if you get good enough at it, you can do that with nuts too. Aha, so it was you who made those crunching noises in our last meeting. What? Nah. Well, do you take me for an amateur? The art of social maneuvers, how to let it flow through you. How to not make things awkward when you walk right into someone bad-mouthing you. The most important part of this art is to flash a refreshing smile in a way that looks earnest. It helps when you convince yourself that smiling is what brings good fortune. Smiles have a way of disarming people, giving them pause and making them hesitate. I remember. I remember that. Big Bro used to use that technique to confuse a lot of Zhang Yuan's people who hated him. I see. This. I can't quite bring myself to throw this into the shredder. Next, how to remain in complete stillness for a week until the next command is received. This lesson plan was designed based on Rodian's advice that I must prioritize strengths that are unique to myself. Look, in my defense, I didn't know he considered that to be his unique strength, okay? Let us consider whether standing in complete stillness for a week is a quality one might seek in the family hierarchy. This one is certainly interesting. What separates bravado from bravery? Jack shite, sod off, and grab your weapons. Yep. Always got to read the full print. Ha! That's my philosophy. That reason don't necessarily need to be considered before coming to blows. Martial prowess is indeed an indispensable part of the family hierarchy qualities, but our focus is not to developing a hierarchy of a syndicate. Next! Information disparity on as a driver of inequitable treatment. Oh? That's actually the most interesting sounding one so far. And the application of engineering frameworks. Okay, kinda losing me, but I'm still on board. For systematic resolution in rational self-interest, Gesellschaft driven societies. I see. So Faustcord wrote this. And is it still going? That was 1/5 of the full title. It seems that the trouble has hithered both you and I. Same trouble has hithered both you and I. Every word in that title was added for its absolute necessity. Indeed, indeed. After she has gone through the majority of our lesson plans. Finally. Now that that's over. Yes, it's finally my turn. Okay, so Sinclair really did make a lesson plan. Okay, so the sack of paper was Sinclair's lesson plan. Okay, I just need to get the story straight. Sinclair had prepared his lesson plan beforehand, and then the stack of paper that was given to uh Zilu was just everyone's lesson plan in total. Hmm. Ew. Sinclair sighed with the gravitas of someone who's just been bestowed with the most important mission in his life. Thinking back, even in school I used to daydream about becoming a teacher myself. I thought I could be good at it. So I guess you could say that I'm pretty happy to be given an opportunity like this. I call my lessons the theory of self-overcoming. We have to accept that everyone stumbles at first, but by always striving to be a better person than I was yesterday. Oh, oh, Roger! Whoa, whoa, whoa! I didn't expect to get Roger development here. Also, hold on. Hey, but what if I like who I was yesterday more? Um, that's okay. Everyone has their own unique potentials sleeping deep inside. We are our own potential, man. So, with everything I've learned and experienced so far, let me teach you. Let me teach you how to know that, to not doubt your own capabilities, how to always shoot higher. Into the shredder it goes. Hold on. You had me for a second there. But what's up with acting like you're infinitely more enlightened person than I am? Of course. I prepared a speaking class where you can learn how to speak with modesty too. I never would have imagined Sinclair would be this into it. Yeah, too bad he's so into it that he's not even listening to what Ji Chun was saying. Following that, your company's... Ah, it seems that Zilo has completely her review. Oh, oh, I see. Now, how's everything going, everyone? Class prep going well? I can see that Zigong and Sod are getting along well. Mine curriculum most special! Okay, so that's a no. That was Sod's impression upon taking a quick glance at Aunt Quixote, who was sopping and cradling the shredded pieces of her lesson plan in her hand. Well, it wasn't a complete bust, at least. Sinclair's lesson plan survived. Phew, Miss Igong, Miss Sod, I prepared a full 30 days worth of lesson plans. Would you like to take a look? But Zigong and Sod weren't looking at the dozens of lesson plans Sinclair presented so proudly before their eyes. They were looking away. Zigong especially was looking away with an unmistakable expression of pity. Oh, because he's a student as well. Oh no. So he doesn't know. Would you mind explaining this, Zilu? I could not bring myself to tell him. Apologies. So this young man produced this entire sizable stack of lesson plans all on his own. I see. Weakness has found its way into your heart in the face of such earnest effort. I understand. However, it has been decided that Sinclair will not be participating as one of Jichun's teachers. Or should I call you pupil Sinclair to be exact? Haha, this has got to be a mistake, right? Isn't Jichun the pupil here?
No, there haven't been any mistakes. My lord has specifically instructed that you are to learn from this as well. What? What? Seriously? This is, this isn't right, guys. This isn't right. Ah, now this looks like a proper classroom. It would have felt pretty dang empty if with just Chichin sitting there all around, don't you think? Besides, I bet Sinclair thinks the resident expert on going to schools, right? School was a, was a luxury for me, you know? Yeah, maybe, but that doesn't mean I ever wanted to go back to school. You should learn to be grateful. I don't dole out of my teachings to just dole out my teachings to just anyone. Don't forget, we have to redo the lesson plan on. Don't forget, we have to redo the whole lesson plan under their supervision. Otis, you always get on your soapbox and lecture everyone about something after every single battle anyway. And you, Ishmael, you always get hyperfixated on something once you find something interesting. You never stop talking about it for 3 hours at least, and... I will assure you that you receive the best education I can provide, Sinclair. Hold on, Yisang. I thought we were the underdog duo. Remember during the checkup when I said, we got this? We were going to get this together. The evaluation painted a twisted picture of the true scale of strength, the sole measure of which erroneously relied entirely on physical might. I shall not hesitate to impart knowledge for those who require education. Congratulations, my lady. You found yourself a deskmate, which some would also call a bestie! It appears, my lady, that you have found yourself a bestie. May you two mog together. May you two achieve girl boss status during your winter arc. Depending on desk placement. Huh? Deskmate? Bestie? What the heck does any of that mean? Skibbity? Rizzler? Phantom tax? What are you even saying right now? Huh? Ji-chun's eyes widened with confusion, as though she just heard those words for the first time in her life. Oh my god, wait, is Ji-chun excited for this? Oh my god, is Ji-chun actually... Oh my god. Oh, that's adorable. Ji-chun actually wants a bestie. Oh really? She seems so excited. I never expected this, actually. Oh my god, that's so cute. That's adorable. Ah, she... When I first met her when she was 16, she explained to me that she hadn't attended any school-like institutions. This is par for the course for children of Hong Yuan, who are raised for the purpose of becoming the next family hierarch. The reason being that schools can be a perfect place to assassinate someone. So, deskmates and besties? Sinclair began to explain, seemingly resigned to the fact that he was essentially going back to school for a month with the other sinners as his teachers. Usually sit next to each other and help one another out. Bestie might nudge the other awake when they doze off, share their homework with one another if one forgot to do theirs. They usually end up being included in the best memories of each other's school time. So not very important at all, huh? I think I got this on my own. I don't need a bestie. Never mind, I think I was wrong.
For a second there, I thought she was actually excited to have a best friend for once.
Hmm. It may have come a few years late, but I am moved that my lady finally has a chance at experiencing school. Same here. I remember it like it was yesterday. Chi-chun would sit and watch other students walk to school. From a distance, tears welling in her eyes. Dude! Oh, that reminds me. One day out of nowhere, she started saying something about eating from lunchboxes with friends. I have the clue as to how or where she even heard about it, but she snuck into the kitchen and wait! Don't you guys have a lesson planned or answer right? Come on, hurry up! 3 days are ticking down. We've only got 30 days.
Never mind, she is secretly enjoying this. Never mind. Never mind, she's happy about this arrangement and having a best day.
Of course. Unfortunately, I have become quite occupied with other tasks of great importance, assisting Wei with indexing and reviewing various documents that are in critical need of organization. Thus, I must leave the lesson planning task to you two, Zilu and Miss Sad. Have you any thoughts on this matter? Slacker. What was that? I said nothing.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for this. Actually, this is gonna be like really fun. Also, does this mean it's open now, right? Yes, it's open. Classes aren't in. No. Achievements. Pass the first midterm? Pass the second midterm? Third. What the? The fourth midterm? Take every teacher's class? Chachi Chun maintains tip-top morale for 7 days in a row? Safely see Chachi Chun's training to the end? Take Isang's classes 3 times, plus classes. What? Raise Chachi Chun's G stat to 400, 800. What is this? What is this? For 5 class combo combinations? What? Excuse me? Huh? Okay. Whoa, okay. Oh my god, and this is it. 3 days of class. Oh.
Zilu and Sod appeared to have aged several years overnight, their faces and sunken and shallow. Finally, after referencing the idiosyncrasies and various statistical data available to us regarding each sinner, we managed to come up with an appropriate curriculum. Miss Zilu? Apologies. Sleep deprivation has breathed me clear of mind. The path of an educator is truly a grueling one. Marching to battle would be much easier. Haha! Still, thanks to Mr. Chat, to use methodologies he shared, we did manage to find a way that makes this quite efficient. Efficient, huh? To be a true family hierarch, there are dozens, hundreds of virtues one must understand and master, however. To do so in 30 days, as promised, is an implausible effort. Thus, we have categorized the countless virtues into 3 supercategories. And they are called... what are these supposed to be? Z, Yong, and Ren. Z, wisdom. The wise lose neither people nor words. To hold one's silence in need of speech shall cost them people. To speak in need of silence shall cost them words. A reasonable sequence of logic. Young, courage. The ability to overcome fear to act decisively. Have too much of it and risk becoming a brute. Too little and risk becoming a craven. It needs harmony and balance. Aha. So, so how far are we allowed to go with corporal punishment again? I recall not instance of any discussion regarding corporal punishment. And Ren, humanity, is the benevolence of heart, the compass of behavior, and that dictates respect towards every human. Clearly most of the faculties of the school are severely lacking in all three of your criteria. Thus, how do you think they'll be able to teach the students anything? Yeah, like a certain someone who needs a lesson in Ren. Are you sure I'm in good hands? Just what the heck am I supposed to learn here? Where's Wei? Mr. Wei and Miss Zigong are currently quite preoccupied with handling the monumental task of paperwork. Alright, right. Mr. Wei wanted me to deliver this message to you. Be strong, my lady. Wei!
There is no law that's entertaining entering the brains of these two idiots. So true. So true. Despite her protestations, the 30 days of classes commence. I can't wait to see the mechanics. I'm so excited for this. Yo! Ah! Isang! Metaphysical approach to ego and reflected world. Reflected world. Okay. Tiptoe. Okay. Okay. The Chichen Sprite! Okay. Oh, I hope at some point she manifests ego. Okay, this is just normal. We only have Isang to begin class. Oh! So we can switch to Sinclair or... I see. Or Chichun. I'm gonna guess one of the combos is Isang Faust. I hope Don Quixote and Heathcliff have one. Or maybe Heathcliff and Ishmael. Oh, I can't wait for this. I guess we just begin. I can't really do anything. So just begin. My name is Isang. That is all. The classes I have prepared for today. Aha, I've plenty heard about your mirror tech. Which makes me wonder. Going by the level of advancement in that technology, couldn't you have approached it from a different angle? You know how technological advancements usually go? People invent for the sake of creation, only to have their inventions inevitably warped into weapons of mass destruction. Indeed, you show much promise already. As you surmise now, the mirror has, in the past, almost been employed to shatter possibilities instead of reflecting on them. I'm sure that the angle others wanted to see happen, removal of potential risks, sounds much more palatable than potential itself to some people after all. Correct again. Yet destruction was a word that bore too much suffering for my heart. My sole egress from it was abandonment of my quodam fellows and my life's work, making myself a fugitive from the past. Wait a minute! Oh, I see! We're gonna see character development from all the sinners in their lessons. I see! Oh, I'm down for this. We're currently learning, we're currently seeing like Isang's current state and like his development, and I'm so excited for that. How did you bring yourself to just abandon it all? I conversed. With whom? With Yangtze, my goat! With Sanghi, my goat!
with myself that lies within me. As you are aware, the mirror's reflection extends beyond the veils of our own reality. It reflects the potentialities, the, la- the latent strength, and the world. Yet, even among them, the reflection of the greatest importance is that of self. Let not the innumerable worlds of the mirror enchant your gaze. First, one must direct their studies inward and reflect upon oneself. I learned how to become more true to myself by looking into the mirror. Yo! Sprites! Jati has grown. Sinclair has grown. Morale is down. Wow. Okay. Why is this kind of reminding me of Umamusume? Now if you're prepared, do explain what you see in the mirror. You needn't hasten. For some reason, Chichun appeared to hesitate before the mirror. Hey, you know... Wait, is Isang showing her, like, his mirror? Like, the one that he has to, like, communicate with Sang Yi. Huh. If that's the case... excuse me, Mr. Yisang, why is there, like, a version of you stripped in this mirror? Uh, uh, excuse me. Sang Yi, I'm in the middle of something. Please, get dressed. Hey, you know, it's been a while since I looked into the mirror for so long. My lady, do you recall Sun Zhen of the Shi family who contacted you for a meeting? Yeah, the guy who said he was going to show me a precious flower that blooms only at night. Remember that you were vehemently against me going out there, so I stayed inside. I wonder what kind of flower it was. Don't tell me you were actually looking forward to meeting him, my lady. Oh, of course not. You were wise to stay inside. It was revealed that you weren't the only person who was invited, my lady. That vile man had hired a group of assassins to ambush the meeting spot, and would have been waiting there to spring the trap had you gone. But apparently he was outplayed, and his limbs and head had torn off as punishment. What a relief, isn't it? I guess. I'm glad I didn't go away. You were right. If only you still had the... If only you still had the Wu branch under your control. Stop it. We agreed to move on from that, remember? We don't have to talk about it. I was brushing my hair and looking into the mirror as we were talking, but I realized that I no longer recognized the girl in the mirror. I don't know why, but I found it so hard to meet her eyes. But I brushed it off because I had to. An experience like that was going to be a common occurrence anyway, and the family hierarchy war was always looming on the horizon. Perhaps what you felt then may have been shame. But it is paramount to face oneself nonetheless. Nay, especially, so if it was. And Sinclair, what do you see? I see... Well, I just see myself, smiling. I don't see what's so out of the ordinary. But it seemed like Sinclair couldn't really bring himself to face the mirror. Hey, after what we just discussed, think I think I understand something now. Now that I've had some quiet time looking at my reflection, I think I uncovered a part of myself I've had hidden away for a long time. Yeah, okay, so they are looking into his mirror. I learned how to be more true to myself by looking into the mirror. Okay, so they both grown again. And then we have one more lesson with Yisang. Oh my god, we have days! Wait a minute, this is gonna last until 30 days, right? Oh my god, it is Uma Musume! Oh my god, wait! This is Uma Musume, because Uma Musume also has a deadline, and you have to, like, grow your, like, skills before then. Oh! Oh, dang! Oh, now I'm feeling the pressure! If that is the case, then none of this is predetermined. I'm feeling the pressure now. Class metaphysics approached the ego and the reflected world leveled up to expert. Nice! Oh, but it's gonna be... Oh, Chichun slash resistance went down. Oh. Oh. Oh, wait! I see! I see, okay. So, I'm guessing how we get more morale is through through some of the classes, right? So Don Quixote helps raise morale. But won't give us much. However, Yisang will give like a lot, but will drain morale quicker. I see. Okay, I'm gonna fit Yisang into my time slot. Wait. I'm gonna include both Don Quixotes for now. Until like they stop. Like if they add like new stuff, I'm gonna leave that into the time slot and just add if I need to. But when it comes time for like stuff going like okay, when it comes time to where like we're not being like handheld or like we're not being given stuff anymore, I'm gonna try to think about this strategy. I'm gonna try min-maxing this. Okay, begin class. Like, I think it's best to have only one Don Quixote class per day. Because I feel like it's a waste if we have two. Because she gives like 30 morale. Ahem. Tis true that the station of teaching is prone to imbue one with a sense of bashfulness. Sinclair and Chichin both sat with a bit of apprehension as well. Which is understandable given what Sod told them sometime before the lesson started. Some time ago. Otis, who had been glaring daggers at Don Quixote for a good while, finally decided to voice her doubts to Sod. So, what is Don Quixote, that woman, supposed to teach? Have you not considered that her usual flippancy might only cause more trouble than it's worth? You worry too much, Otis. While she may not look like it, Don Quixote is extremely well versed in those adventure tales. And why would any of that matter? Have you yourself considered that fixers often appear when history is in the making? Oh! Okay. Wait, this is carnival music! Hold the phone! This is Arcanto's music. Wait, did Yisang's, like, music, did, like, Yisang's Kanto music also play during his lesson? I didn't realize. If that's the case, that's cool. Holy. I'm gonna drink water. I need it because it's Don Quixote I'm gonna be voicing next. Let us see here. Don Quixote took a second to savor the moment as though she had been preparing her whole life for it, then continued. Amongst the greatest fixers whose honored names were engraved in history, Ha! Verily, thus commenced this lesson with a tale of the fixer Yu Fei. This tale beginneth in the year. Sometime later. Are you done? Just how can she continue? Just how can she continue to talk at such length? She's been going for ages. Thus cometh the time to test thy dedication to this class. The knowledge that should naturally come with it. A pop quiz, if thou wilt. When'd she even find the time to prepare this? I can assure you thee, 'tis a quiz of entirely reasonable difficulty. If thou hast paid attention in class, worry thee not. Does this pop quiz have any prizes? Aha! But of course, I came prepared for such inquiries. For each correct answer, I shall bestow upon thee from the very treasure chest of mine. These precious fixer badges. Forsooth, I did not let a single day go by which I did not polish each and every one of them on 3 separate occasions at the very least. I don't know. I don't really need them. Hold thine applause for these, a bonus reward for the victor, who by the end of this match carries more badges. Thou shalt attain the role of a protagonist in this theatrical play of mine making. Fixer Chronicles Yu Fei. 'Tis an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm still not really. It's not doing anything for either of us. Eh, it's, it's still a pretty useless reward. But if you're turning this into a competition, I won't lose. Seriously? What, scared you'll lose? Is history your weakness or something? Ha! I'll have you know that I was the teacher's pet in every single history class I took. And I'll have you know I was, no matter the subject, showered with praise from every single master I've had. Okay, if that's how you want to play it. I'll have you know that I was a prodigy in other classes too. I did great in art class, pretty good in math too. I was just being humble because I didn't want to steal your thunder, Chichun. Oh, then let me tell you what, that I was trained in master of at least 10 different disciplines every single day. And on one of those days, you know, what one of my masters told me? He said, looks like Miss Jachi-chun's finally getting a feel for how friendship up close in age are forged in school. That's good. No matter how excellent her masters were, there's some experience that you can't learn from teachers. I TikToked in response. This year, 505, what is the historical community's consensus on the most illustrious battle that Victor Yu Fei is said to have partaken in? Allow me to impart to thee a major clue if thou hasn't paid attention to as I discoursed upon the 5 pillages in which the Fei, Victor Yu Fei, was mentioned. This should not be a difficult question to answer. The honorable victor of the Cerulean Heaven, who attained the triumph in Battle of Rhino Tree in the year 465, had said what was the worst ordeal she had ever had to face in her career. I've got it. It's when she had forged onward despite watching her dearest comrades fall one by one, as they held the line to buy her time. Ugh, damn it, I was too slow. Fei, Yangji-chun, thou art incorrect. Honorable victor of the Cerulean Heaven is recorded to have testified that the worst ordeal in her career was when she was forced to stand before enemies with her hair that was not luscious as to supply line breakage caused her regular delivery of nutritional supplements to cease. What thou hast suggested, young Chichun, was her 7th most difficult ordeal. She's speaking like she was actually there. Honestly, I don't doubt that she was, knowing her age. Thine impression is quite understandable, for I am trained in the ways of vividly regaling these tales, but most of these are tales I have learned from books. Much did I anticipate such opportunity to regale these tales to such audience, enough to study the ways of minstrels. There was a clear look of pride in her twinkling eyes. Time certainly flies when hearing the tales of exciting adventure. That was the secret technique Honorable Fixer Lysander employed in his resolution of the case of the Fey Forest. Speak its name in full! I've got it. It's, a summer night. Fantasia. Aha! Yet I cannot pass such an unmotivated retelling of this super ultimate move. Hardly could one internalize the true noble spirit of fixers by simply reciting it. With such apathy, thou must recreate the exact pose and the enunciation. Are you kidding me? Ew. Come on, you can do it. You can do this. Come on, you can do this, Jachi-chun. You can do this. This is nothing. Illusions of a midsummer's night shall devour the whole summer night. Fantasia! Thine enunciation was quite shaky upon illusions, yet thou hast demonstrated sufficient courage. Thus I bestow upon thee this badge. I grow tired of this nonsense. Just how much longer are you planning to drag this on? Thus muttered the hero, then declared, I shall tear this evil storm asunder and find a place for this blade at the center of thy heart. Dante, lights, left side. Gotcha! Don Quixote, who was watching Sinclair and Jachi-chun's two-person play, suddenly wiped her tears away. Bravo! Bravo! Certain minor details were missed, such as that Yufei the fixer was left-handed, and that he had a habit of playing with a lighter in his left pocket before every duel. Yet, 'twas a wonderful reenactment indeed. I have no other critique to impart upon thee. When faced with great adversity, in thine adventure rekindle the memory of Yufei, the fixer's final duel. Remember it well. Thus cometh to an end the lessons of today. It was just for a moment, but I think I'm starting to get it. I get why she's so obsessed with fixers. Clutched tightly in Chi-chun's hands were the badges Don Quixote had gifted her. I was completely absorbed in the exhilarating tales of fixers that I even forgotten to breathe at one point. Nice! And now we're back with Yi-sang by looking into the mirror. Nice! Oh! Big growth! Big growth! Oh, next Faust. Yeah, I get it. Can we really not add more? Oh, we can only have one class at a time, I see. I see what's happening. Okay, we can only have one. I see, okay. So we can't just have multiple classes in a row. So I can't just make the entire lineup Yi-sang.
It's day 3. Oh my god. Oh god, it's day 3.
Boom! This is a component part. This is a component part taken from the structure that forms H Corp. This may provide to be this may prove to be an opportunity to conduct an in-depth analysis on the nature of the former H Corp singularity, which had been enduring for such a long time. You look kinda upbeat today, Miss Faust. Indeed, an opportunity to study the old H Corp singularity is not one that comes often. As there was potential for integration into Mephistopheles, I made a request to disassemble a part of the bus's engine, but was denied. A shame. Uh, aren't you the one who built Mephistopheles though, Miss Faust? Mephistopheles is indeed Faust's work, but not all of it was mine. It is possible that Faust may never reveal every small detail that went into its creation. I would very much enjoy a chance to completely disassemble it, even its engine, so that it could be reassembled with my own hands. Yeah, sure. Oh, it blew up! Managed to learn various detailed mechanical fundamentals about old H-Corp technology. Nice. Hmm. So that's how it works. I think I get it. Didn't think this is how I'd get to learn more about the old H-Corp. I don't think I can do much against the reconstruction days right now, but this knowledge will certainly come in handy when the day comes for me to gradually dismantle that iniquitous thing. The day when Hong Yuan can be a place where people can live without fear. Without the fear of the encroaching reconstruction days. Without obsessively counting their rooms to see if they'll fall or not. Until Hong Yuan can be a place where you can sleep with the promise of safe tomorrows. I'm sure you'll pull it off. Oh, and I learned a lot during this lesson too, Miss Faust. I...
Bang!
Hmm. The voltage must have been set too high. Repeating experiment with a different combination of fuses and wires. There was supposed to be a lesson somewhere in there, right? Taxidermy geniuses. Oh, yo, we got a combo! I had a very precious time learning to converse with my inner self. Nice. Oh, the Ren is massive! Oh, combo! Also for Faust. Oh, and Dawn. Well, been hearing tales of exciting adventures. Nice. And we reach expert level on Dawn. Okay. What are my combos? Oh, we can increase class success rate if we have both of them. Right now, I want to focus on stats. I'm gonna leave Don Quixote when our morale is particularly low. Unlike some other classes which were more on the upbeat side of things. Oh no, Gregor. Right. How much Gregor character development have we had since Canto 1? It's been like... It's been a while. We can actually see like Gregor reflect on his past and stuff in this class, or at least that's what I'm hoping for. The room's air fell grim and solemn as soon as everyone saw what Gregor had written on the chalkboard. On war. Losing a wing war leaves a much larger, longer-lasting impact on than some medium-sized enterprise closing up shop. It might be too soon to talk about this, but we came pretty darn close to one recently, didn't we? We're close to we were this close to to a large-scale war breaking out right here, which absolutely would have happened if Miss Chichun here failed to finish her ascension. It would have spread like wildfire too. So my class is going to be about what exactly happens when a war. Oh, the piece of chalk slipped from Gregor's fingers as he went to scribble something on the board. His left hand was trembling as though the room's temperature had plummeted only for him. Man, why is it gotta... Excuse me, missing Miss Zilu? Is it okay if I smoke? Go ahead. You good? Yeah, hey Gregor, you doing okay? Well, when else am I gonna get a chance to share the realities of war right to a wing chief executive officer's face, huh? The moments that just don't come off. The moments that just don't come off your skin, no matter how hard you scrub at them. Hey, take a break if you need it. I'm going to listen to every word you have to say here today, no matter how long it takes. Man, I appreciate that sentiment. He's dealing with PTSD. Oh god. Gregor. Well, still though, I can't dilly-dally when Miss Chichun's got other stuff to deal with, huh? So, let's take a look at how things were at the very beginning of the Wing War. Managed to understand the troubles most foot soldiers go through and learn to get a better idea of the flow of a battlefield. Nice. And that's why the smoke war fronts were mostly characterized by trench warfare. No one wanted to risk fighting in concrete jungles where they could be surrounded by enemies at all times, so everyone tried to draw each other out into an open field, which naturally turned into trench warfare. And of course, every wing has a different singularity, so this isn't really applicable to all cases. It's just that the former G-Corp found flat plains easier to maneuver in. I feel like Yuan could make a pretty good use of Hongyuan as a defensive fortress, especially with its internal structure constantly shifting around, which the Heishu know and use very well. Exactly. This should explain why they were hesitating outside Yuan. Remember the thumb fellas? The ones we met who were going in circles? Not to mention how the Heishu all utilized the topography of Hongyuan differently. Even if an outsider were to get a read on how one of the branches maneuver around Hongyuan, as long as the 12 Heishu branches are standing, Hongyuan is unassailable. Well, despite going into all that, I'm sure we all know what the best answer in all warfare is. Not having war in the first place. I'll be honest, I can't stop thinking about some of the stories you've been telling us. I can't even imagine what it would have been like to have to not only witness it, but to go through all of that. We did visit your fathoms, Gregor, but that wasn't even the tip of the iceberg. The city was devoured in smoke, its citizens in madness. He'd always shrug off those stories as ramblings of the past, but during the war, he stood at the center of the heartless machine that was the city. Its every gear calibrated to slaughterhouse precision, to maximize the death of its people. Yet he must have witnessed things far worse than the worst the city presently has to offer. His eyes gazed upon the veil of the bygone past, shaking restlessly in pursuit of what was no more. Oh boy, sorry fellas. I'm afraid I got carried away lamenting what happened that I forgot that this was supposed to be a class. I'll be sure to prep something more useful next time. No. Everything you told me really solidified my resolve. This chaos within Hong Yuan needs to come to an end soon. Let's something so horrible could happen. I'm heading to my next class. Wait for me! Even after the two students had left, Gregor lingered in that room for a while, lighting up cigarette after cigarette without erasing what he wrote on the chalkboard. Smoke soon filled the room. He left only after almost emptying the entire pack. Yay!
Our Ren is so good right now.
Nice! Jachi Chun's Jin Gang Bolus passive improved.
Oh, really?
Nice!
Gain protection at 3 defense level up. Nice. Oh, Hong Lu's next. I want to focus on maximizing it. I think... Oh, Gregor would be really good. I feel like Gregor overall would be really good. Oh. I'm gonna focus on trying to level these guys up. So, next, Gregor and Faust. Combos. When's the right time to pull it? Just bring Don Quixote in, because I'm sure we're gonna need it. I want to do like, I want to get everyone up to like expert at least.
How our class going? How our class is going, Chichun? Hmm. I'm I'm not you, big bro. I pay attention in class. Hello. Oh, hello, Miss Dayu. Hoo. She was really insistent on helping me out, even though I refused because she looked preoccupied. The moment I found out about the contents of his lesson plan, I simply could not allow him to do this alone. Looks like it's going to be another serious class. Apologies for the delayed greetings. Dayu of the Lin family formally extends her greetings to the venerable hierarch. Been a while since I heard that greeting around here. Oh wait, what about Big Sis Bao Chai? Are you sure it's okay for a Zhu family bodyguard to be here?
By the way, if you hear that my Chichun voice is changing, that's because it is. I think I'm starting to lose it, so I'm just going with whatever like I think sounds correct.
I'm no longer employed as Miss Bao Chai's bodyguard. Oh, wait, don't tell me we... Don't tell me we got you fired. Everything I did that day, including accompanying you, was under Miss Bao Chai's orders. As for why she no longer needed my services, I don't understand myself. She only let me go after the trouble was over.
That's because she was coerced.
So, what's there for you to teach me, big bro? Your last lesson plan about not making things awkward got vetoed by Zilu, so... You could have taught me a thing or two if we were still kids, but... Come on, you spent most of your time stuck in Yi Hongyuan before leaving Hongyuan. I don't know what you could possibly have to teach me. Don't you worry, Chichun. This is the one thing I think I'm pretty good at. My lesson for Chichun and Sinclair is... In clear, neat handwriting, Honglu wrote, "Surviving Hongyuan," on the chalkboard. Oh, well, I don't think I need any help in that department from you. Look, I know you've had your share of assassination attempts, Big Bro, but the previous hierarch and the Elders' favor sheltered you from the worst of it. She's not wrong, but when we had to fight our way through a bunch of sweepers, weren't you also one of the handful who got assassinated? Oh, that? I was wondering. I was wandering the hallway because I felt like something was off about my room. Until Dante told us all to go back to our rooms, of course. Well, wait, it was my fault? You do have some intuition, I'll give you that. Looks looks like I'm going to have to prove myself. Dayu, would you mind preparing the thing? You have my utmost faith, but please do practice caution. Sometime later, Lin Dayu appeared with 4 bowls splishing with tea before sprinkling some powder into one of them. What's that? That's powdered wolf's. That's powdered wolfbane. I see where this is going. You're going to teach me how to tell which one of these bowls contains poison, right? You can stop now. I learned to recognize infamous poisons like wolfsbane when I was 7. If that was something as tame as you were suggesting, Venerable Hierarch, I would not have been here to accompany him. Lin Dayu continued their process, sprinkling wolfsbane powder into 2 more bowls. Hong Lu, who was watching that with an oddly contented expression, closed his eyes. Please mix them up, Dayu. Okay, wait, what? We stared in confusion, but we could hardly tell what's going on with the speed at which Lin Dayu swapped around the bowls. When we looked back at Hong Lu, there were 3 silver spoons in his hand. Those silver spoons were custom made at Dong Yuan's request, a must-have item for children of the 4 great houses. They can detect non-sulfuric poison as well. Yeah, I know. They're actually... actually... What? It's nothing. Fufu? In Hongyuan, where we are beset by threats of assassination from all directions, knowledge alone isn't enough to save you. What the heck are you? But Hong Lu opened his eyes before Jia Chun can finish her sentence. He then throws the silver spoons in his hands like throwing pins towards three of the bowls, and immediately chucks the 4th bowl, which he hadn't thrown a spoon at. Oh, holy crap! Are you insane? You barely even checked them for... Shiren's newer teas is always delicious, even when cooled. The 3 silver spoons Hong Lu had cast earlier was slowly melting away after quickly becoming tarnished black. Is wolfsbane poison supposed to melt through metal? People like to be thorough with their poisons in Dang Yuan. Since everyone's been trained for immunity since childhood, you have to make a mixture of various poisons to have a real effect. Fine, I don't even want to argue. What's your secret? I want to know too. Do they sound different or something? I just went with my hunch. With a hunch? How are we supposed to learn that? We're not Heathcliff, you know? You'll get the hang of it after a few tries. I'll help you out. Shall we begin with 2 bowls? I managed to tell the difference between the bowls by reading Hong Lu and Dayu's subtle tells. Oh, morale is low. Okay, so this is the point where we're getting low morale. Okay. So I'm gonna guess every other lesson. Or I guess you could have like every day is Don Quixote Day. I see. When you say that you avoided whatever felt wrong with a hunch, you were effectively identifying the threat by reading the room and connecting it to your intuitive experience. Aha! So you were using Dayu's anxious breathing to clue you in. So this is how you managed to survive for so long. Listen carefully, Chichun. I know that the adepts of each issue will come to your aids with a flick of your wrist. And I know that your residents, Nuan Xiangwu, will be engineered by the best craftsmen to become a safe fortress stocked with the brim with all kinds of useless bonuses to protect your life. Even still, there will come a day when you start to feel this creeping sensation, whose origin you can't identify. And when it does, I hope you won't brush it off. Brush off that sensation as nothing. You're worrying over nothing. Jia Chun wiped around away from Hong Lu's as if to express dissatisfaction, but her softened expression told me that she was glad to see him worried. Now I know enough about urban trench warfare to give my explanation of my own. To learn detailed mechanics fundamentals about old age group technology. Understanding the city, engineering, and its practices leveled up to expert. Every six every 6 days you will be subject to midterms, prepared by Board of Directors Jia Yuan Chun. A pelican has been prepared to take you to the exam sites, and only by passing the test made Jia Chun retain her status as the family hierarch. My lady. Oh, don't worry yourself over much. Master Wei, you sound like you're at a funeral. She will pass these tests with ease as long as she has been diligent taking her classes. No, it's... I simply hope that I can survive until she returns. It seems that Wei's rather funereal voice wasn't just out of his concern for Chi-chun. Wei, are you sure you're okay? I can't escape them, even in dreams. The unfinished bundles of paperwork cascading over me like a storm, burying me. Steel yourself, for that was no dream at all. In fact, never have I once seen paperwork trained in the arts of airwalking until now. I must be severely sleep deprived.
Looks like we're not the only ones going through the ringer. Nice, okay. Nice, more slash resistance. Okay. We need a Don Quixote class ASAP. Start of the day, Don Quixote class. Okay, let's get started.
Hey, you're one of the she-boys. We finally meet. I had hoped to fight you in the family hierarch war. If you'd run into me then. Isn't that supposed to be isn't this supposed to be a sparring match? Or does it sound like you're having a personal grudge against me? Oh, it's nothing. Nothing at all. Why in the world would I ever hold a grudge against you? The results of the family hierarch war couldn't be any clearer, and everyone even remotely connected to the mess has all been dragged away and put under investigation. And hey, guess what? They dragged away half of my family, which means more room for me. I should really thank you, right? Honestly, why don't you just declare a war against the Shi family at this point? Wouldn't that be much easier? War is not easy. It never is. What? You on about all of a sudden? It's not something we should be talking about so lightly about. Even as a joke. Your family was arrested because they were under investigation for treason against Dong Yuan Yuan. If they're innocent, I'm sure they'll be released soon enough. I know it's pretty much a given that they'll be ruled as guilty, regardless of what really happened. You know, I can't even pay them a visit because you've hidden yourselves all over Hong Yuan. They're not hidden. All holding cells within Hong Yuan have always been designed to move around in very short intervals. You know, that doesn't seem like the kind of design that would lead the people to make some unfortunate assumptions, though I'm sure the initial purpose was to prevent escapes. I recently gained a better understanding of Hong Yuan's structure, so I'm planning to change our policies so that prisoners still on trial are allowed to have fixed locations. Really? Where'd you? I was lucky enough to take a few excellent classes recently. Managed to reflect upon myself a bit too. Ah, you did change a little. Still, you better not expect me to go easy on you. I've got my own things to take care of. Good. Come on, let's do this. Many illustrious victors of the past have said that not but discouragement awaits unjust victories. She's actually taking the classes. Oh my god, she's actually taking some things from the classes. Yo! Oh, we can't do anything. Oh, it's all win rate. It really is just auto battle. Come on, Chichun. Oh yeah, it's Jover for him. It's so Jover for him. Yeah, it's so Jover for him. Chichun? Okay. Nice. Good for you. You won. Now stop giving me that look and get out of here. You lost most of your clan during the family hierarchy war, didn't you? Yeah, so what? Are you calling me a penniless loser? Yeah. You little. And I'm sure that was... And I'm sure that's what I look like to you, too. I do not... I don't want your... Sorry. Every clan member who died in the evaluation to have died for nothing. If I show weakness, that means I'm marking everyone who participated in the evaluation look weak. So I'm going to win, and I'm going to win without the fertile soil of my predecessors have left behind, because their legacies was unjustly nourished by the blood and tears of Hong Yuan itself. Shi Huan Zhen, you are tenacious, determined, and strong of will. That must be why everyone stood by you, down to the last man. You knew my name. Ma'am? I do. So what do you think? Want to make them sing your name in glory for the remaining history of Hong Yuan? Okay, now we're doing... Have we unlocked any new combos? No, okay. Now... We need Don Quixote, and we need... Let's do another Gregor. Is this good? If we do another Gregor, that helps build up the rest. But I feel like I want to min-max this a bit more. I guess I guess Yisang and Faust are more on the min-maxi sides, while Gregor and Honglu are more on like getting like two of the other one. Because Gregor is more focused on Yon and Ji, and Honglu is more focused on Ji and Ren. So really, we our Ren is looking pretty good. So we need Gregor for this one. Also, by the way, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna be right back because I need. It's been like a couple hours now. I'm gonna take a break to use the restroom. Be right back. Later. Okay, I'm back. Let's begin class. I heard you managed to come out on top in your first sparring match. Congrats. Thanks. I gotta admit, you're. Oh, wait. I just noticed. I forgot to remove the Be Right Back screen. Sorry about that. Thanks. I gotta admit, your classes are definitely coming in handy. In handy. I like your attitude. Well, shall we take a look at what I prepared for today? You're teaching about exploring, huh? It's going to be an indoors. It's going to be an indoors class. Yep, exploring. Where should I begin? It's a very big subject. Free soloing to the top of the highest building in Hongyuan, surviving 10 days in Hongyuan's back streets with only 3 items. I had plenty of ideas, but most of them got denied. And rightly so. And that's when I realized that exploring isn't always limited to adventures in the physical space. A few weeks ago. So I'm just here to fill in since this game needs a certain number of players, but really, can you really call this a tabletop game an adventure? My god, they're playing D&D. They're playing D&D. Oh my, is Yi Sang the DM? Yet, in games of make-believe, any simulacra can be made as real as... Ah, what a move. Oh, nice. I'm gonna roll for damage. Gah! Young Ishmael! Thou hast absolutely pummeled the Gorgon beast with thy fireball spell, rendering it most crispy! Actually, no, it might be Dawn. Dawn's probably the DM. It was a formidable foe. That was wonderfully executed, Miss Ishmael. Huh? Really? Well then, as my next move, they're really just gonna play the they're really just playing D&D. Okay. Wait. Fu- Wait, Fireball. Does it is Ishmael playing a wizard class? Or like one of the more arcane classes, like wizard, sorcerer, and like warlock. That's what I'm getting out of that. Ah, that's how you came up with this. I've played a few other games, but this is new for me too. I'm still pretty new in general, I guess. This is called Jiang Jiangchu Journeys, or J&J D&D. It's a popular game among Hong Yuan's youth. It's gotten generally positive reviews too. What Ishmael so proudly presented before everyone appeared to be a board game with numerous cards and minifigures. Okay, what do these huge piles of paper have to do with exploration? Rule number 1. The most experienced player among those gathered becomes the JM. The JM? Yeah, Journey Master. The Journey Master designs the story around the player's choices, sets the stage for what happens next, and generally helps guide the explorers to safely arrive at their goals. That's why the most experienced players takes that role. Which would be me. With strength dex, each each character seems to have these things called stats. Ah, looks like we just have to pick from a set of pre-made characters for this one. So I'm supposed to be playing this character's role? Sinclair and Jia Chichun picked up their cards with confusion clear in their eyes. You arrived at the great city of Yanyun, Smoke Cloud, a place known to be a gathering hub for all kinds of influential people. Ah, I see, you arrive at the tavern. You travel here in search of, um, a legendary treasure called, yeah, the Tianya Sword, the Sword of Farlands. The city of Yanyun. Huh, cool. So, why are we looking for that sword again? Phew, uh, it's because, so there's this legend in Yanyun about how the sword of... Right, the Tianyun sword is the only way to quell the chaos of these lands and bring peace to its people, and also how having the sword is the proof of a true leader of these lands, and so on and so forth, you know. Ishmael was stuttering and stammering through the introduction without their usual confidence. Ah, first time DM. First time DM. I see. The city is called Yanyun. Must be in a lot of trouble too. But it looks like Jia Chichun is already invested. Seemingly affected by the oddly familiar setting of the story, Jia Chichun nodded solemnly without noticing Ishmael stumbling through the introduction. Oh well, you know how it is. The point is, you guys need to go find that sword. Then, I will claim the Tianya sword, no matter what it costs me. Jia Chichun nods with determination. I had I had a so-so time with today's adventure. Nice. From the rumors you've gathered, it seems that the Keshan Keep might have heard of the whereabouts of that sword. What will you do? I... I walk up to the Keshan Keep, chat him up, and try to gain his trust. Are you sure? Remember, your wisdom is extremely low right now, which means that you'll find it hard to form even the simplest sentences. I'm guessing it's based off their action. I'm guessing Ishmael based this off their real life selves. What if I found a different way to gain the Kazan Keep's trust that doesn't involve sweet talking him? I do have a pretty high strength stat, which should give me access to certain alternative methods of persuasion that doesn't require skill in speechcraft. Hold on. I'll try to convince the Kazan Keep. I think I've got a decent chance at this. My wisdom is pretty high. And you passed the check. And you passed the check. The Kazan Keep looks at you, having lowered his guard. Oh, not you, Sinclair. He's still pretty wary of you. Okay, then. I guess I'll just stand in the corner over there, unsheath my weapon, and play around with it for a bit. That's what he expects me to do anyway, isn't it? You're just role-playing Heathcliff now, aren't you? Ahem. The Kissen Keep shares some information about the sword he heard. He explains that the party should seek northeast towards Yinshi Mountain, Cloud Rise Mountain. But, what's this? Tears begin to well in the Kissen Keep's tears begin to well in the Kissen Keep's eyes as he continues to explain. Apparently, a patrolling guard has beat his son pretty badly just for loitering around the guard. The wound's pretty severe, so he needs medicine, but he can't seem to find any. Oh, no. That's too bad. But we've got a job to do. Since we have what we came here for, we leave the Kesan. Well, they say that JMs aren't supposed to interfere with players' choices. But let's be honest, I would have made the same choice. You can't stop and help out of every little side quest when there's a whole lot of adventure to go through. No, we're not leaving. No, we're not leaving. I'm gonna get him that medicine. What? After a few turns of various trials and tribulations for Sinclair, the Kesan Keep's son, who fortunately was able to recover, hears her story and hesitantly shares what he knows. You realize that he's talking about the fairy Yao Guai, guardian of the Tianya's sword. He explains that the fairy Yao Guai's powers grows under bright moonlight. Hold on! Isn't it full moon right now? Then we should wait until the sky's overcast. Hearing that, the innkeep's son takes a quick look at the clouds, then tells you that it might be raining in about a week. Glad we helped him out. Phew. Okay, let's make sure we're prepared before we go. It's that. Oh my god. You're gonna have to roll a 15 or higher to hit. I know, I'm focused. Hey, I rolled a 16! With a final singular strike from Jia Qinxun, the fairy Yao Guai finally falls to the ground, defeated. Yes! The Tianya's sword is ours! Excited, the party runs up the sword embedded deep into the earth and grabs enthusiastically upon the hilt. With this we can... However, the defeated fairy Yao Guai, whom the party assumed was dead, suddenly jumps to its feet and lunges at Jia Qinxun, who pulled the sword from the ground. No! I quickly get in between Qinxun and the monster. But if that crits, it's going to be pretty deadly, even for you. Let's see if you can make the evasion save. One. And another one. Nope. That's a critical fail. It's okay. No! Not a nat one! Sinclair falls to the ground, bleeding. Can you do like a... hold on. You can make like a Constitution saving throw, can't you? Come on. Sinclair needs to live! Sinclair falls to the ground, bleeding profusely from the gaping wound. The young Guai lies still, as well. The final vestiges of its strength completely spent. Sinclair! Go on without me. Take that sword and go to the village. Become the leader they need. That sword has your proof. No. This sword wouldn't mean anything without my adventuring buddy. I'm going to bandage Sinclair up and carry him back. I won't leave him behind and descend the mountain all on my own. Wait. If that's your choice, then, yeah. The bleeding stops as soon as you wrap him up. He's just that sturdy, you know? That strike would have killed pretty much anyone, but you know how healthy he is. Just look at his constitution. Like, damn, he rolled pretty high on that. On your feet, Sinclair. We got a city to burn. We're getting out of here together. Grab onto my shoulder. That's it. Step by step. Hey, Chi-chan, look over there. Everyone we've helped and saved our journey came out to welcome us home. You're right. If it weren't for you, Sinclair, I would never would have stopped and talked to every single villager here, there to hear their troubles. That sword was only a symbol all along. All of our efforts and the experiences we gained in our journey for the sword were what taught me how to be a good I mean, leader, not the sword itself. You're right. The real success of this adventure was everyone's efforts along the way. It was the friends we made along the way. I feel like the game overtook the class at some point along the way. Time flies hearing exciting tales of adventure. Managed to understand the troubles most foot should go through and learn to get a better idea of the flow of a battlefield. God, I love Uma Musume. I've actually been playing Uma Musume lately. I played it for like a bit, like yesterday. I kind of got I mean, it's too early to say, but I kind of did get like pretty into it. And like I'm like enjoying myself. Oh, oh, we have just free slots. Okay. Considering let's see. Let's do you. Uh, do we do another Don Quixote? Because that's 12. Actually, no, it's fine. It's novice. But if we go for anyone else, that's gonna be 20 degrees of 20, which I think should be fine. I think it's around like 60. Is when it's around 60 or 70, and this is gonna be 20. I don't think this is gonna get us down lower, so I believe we can sneak one in. Let's do Gregor's. Oh, I just realized Ishmael's is the young version. Is the min-max version for young. Okay. I mean, it helps to get them back up. But I also kind of want to maximize our Ren currently. So maybe... maybe more Yi Sang instead of Gregor. Like, I'm trying to figure out whether or not it's best to go all in on one immediately or space it out to get like general stuff. I mean, we might find new combos by doing this, so let's go. Solution to all kinds of trials we face in the adventure. I might tell the difference between bowls by reading Hong Lu and Daiyu Settle Tells. Managed to understand the troubles most foot soldiers go through and learn to get a better idea of the flow of a battle. Okay, so it is 70. 70 is when it gets low. Oh, wait, Merceau's another Don Quixote. Okay. Merceau's another Don Quixote. Oh, and he's already an expert. I wouldn't. Yeah, makes sense. He's already an expert. He's an expert in his field. By the way, have we figured out any combos? No new combos, really. I feel like Dawn and Ishmael would have a combo together. You know, let's go. Let's just go for it. In regards to every activity, involvement of unnecessary emotions and personal judgment is to be wasteful. I'm gonna need you to elaborate on that. Then I will share an excerpt from Sinclair's exchange with the manager 32 days ago. Begin quote. Huh? 32 days ago? What? No! Marcel! That face! Marcel, that face! I was not expecting that face! Excuse me, Dante. I'm sorry to, ask you this, but most of us are fatally wounded, so can you please turn the clock just one more time? End quote. Unnecessary interjections weigh down your request. Wow. That's pretty bad. Uh, did I really stutter that badly? It is a waste of time to involve emotions when delivering unfavorable news. The same message could have been delivered with merely 2 words. We failed. Let us commence field practice. Do not ask me a single question for the next 5 minutes. Well, okay, sure. It seems easy enough. Suddenly, Merceau let out a cry as he clutched his chest, then fell to the floor. Are you okay? Merceau? You okay? His eyes snapped open. Task failed. 5 minutes have not passed. You're cheating. This reminds me of the incident Sinclair had so desperately wished to hide. What? That was who wished to what? Despite your belief that no one would ever find out your secret, there was only one person who got to the bottom of the incident. Come on! Ooh, just what did you see? Failed again. 9 to 5. Oh, okay, so, yeah, both of them. So, Ishmael and Merceau. Class over. Teaching has grown, Sinclair's grown. And we got more stuff. We're, okay, nice. Expert. Nice, expert. Nice, okay. How are you looking now, Chichin? Oh, it's ineffective now. Nice. I'm not bringing Merceau. I don't think it's necessary. Though we are looking pretty low. Okay. I think this is a day. Wait, does it just say when we found one? Or no? Okay. So I think this is the... I'm gonna min-max here. So we use you... we do... Gregor. And we do Merceau. No, we do... Instead of Merceau, we do Dawn. That way we can maximize our Ren. I mean, the order doesn't matter. But so we can maximize our Ren. And then afterwards... Maybe... Okay, how about instead of Ren, we can go for Young, because I want to use you. I also want to use Gregor. And... maybe Merceau? No, not... Yeah. Instead of that, so we can also get rent. And we don't have one for Young yet. I'm thinking hard about this. Okay, how about this? How about this instead? So we do G instead. Okay. I don't think we got any. Yeah, there's no new combos here. Oh, okay, okay. So next is... Are you an expert? Yeah, you're an expert already. Hmm. I want to see if there's a combo for YouTube since both of you are war veterans. And I might also do Merceau. So begin class. Attention! Today's lesson will cover intelligence acquisition. In other words, men, you will learn how to gain information from people. Hey, I'm pretty good at that. You just have to turn them to your side by being generous with my spending. By setting a good example as a superior, they'll eventually open up. Foolishness! Yeah! That's among the worst strategies I've ever had the displeasure of hearing. Do you not see how wasteful it is to spend the limited military budget? How wasteful it is to spend so much precious time trying to butter them over? The most efficient means of obtaining intelligence is... torture. Torture? Huh? I'd say that's the worst strategy I've ever had the displeasure of hearing. I'd rather not waste my clan's strength on something so utterly useless like that. Besides, if you end up accidentally killing them... Foolishness! Foolishness! Jeez, can you stop saying that word? How simplistic and disappointing. Your imagination falls short if that is all you can think of when you hear the word torture. Then this unit. This isn't exactly a military unit. Ahem. Then this Hong Yuan may indeed be beyond your ability to lead. Well, I'm waiting. Get on with your lesson. The mention of Hong Yuan seems to put Chi-Chun in a thoughtful mood, as she stopped arguing and began focusing on class. The most effective method of torture isn't physical. Things like waterboarding, electrocution, and are all inferior. Today you will learn the torture of the language. With this method, you will always find the answer you want. Use speechcraft to entrap their minds, slowly constrict around them, and then let them take a brief sigh of relief every time they give you an answer. That, cadets, is how you will be learning today. Your position, cadets. Your position, cadets. With only a few words, I managed to convince the target to spill the beans. Oh, morale versus... Oh, okay. Nice! Oh, we got a twofer. We got a twofer for Merceau and Otis. And Gregor and Otis. Nice. Now I know and... Oh, and Gregor and Merceau. Never mind. Oh, we have triple. Oh. +1 all stats. Oh, it's day 12 already. It's still not high as I'd like. Hmm. Well, day 12. Uh, oh wait, there's more. I'm guessing Don Quixote Ishmael? Don Quixote Ishmael. There's so many combos. Yeah, I'm guessing, considering this is how it's like done, I'm guessing the hint here is Don Quixote Ishmael. Don Quixote Ishmael. And then there's one with Gregor. And one with Merso. Okay. We'll do Don Quixote Ishmael next. So I hear you've defeated Shi Huazen. You would do not you would do best not to let that get to your head. He's been our family's greatest shame. Hey, watch yourself. Haven't you learned not to underestimate the family underdogs? What? Oh, you don't know? You see, I managed to talk Shi Huazen into, Well, what? No, it can't be. He could not have spilled the beans on my parents. Ah, my men are already on their way. Ugh. But how did you know it was Block 32? I barely managed to get at them a hiding spot there. Oh, so it's Block 32. Did you just... I did. Huh? That was easier than it was during class. I've heard stories about how you've changed. I didn't know you had changed into such a heartless woman. Hmm. Say something, damn it. Don't just stand there completely expressionless and... Hmm. Oh, he's following in Merceau. Oh, I see. You won't be shaken by silly things like that, is that it? Hmm. That may not... That may benefit the seat of the hierarch, however. I'll... Wait, did I read it correctly? That may befit the seat of a hierarch. However, a leader who responds with silence to their inferiors, a leader who considers them only disposable tools is bound to rot. I, Xi Jing, refuse to let anyone so unqualified such as yourself retain power. Go, Adam!
조금씩 아픈
They all resist Chichun.
망설이지 않고 한 번.
I'm gonna focus on min-maxing now. Maybe. I mean, we have a lot to work with now than before. Oh! I just saw that. That was Merceau. Hold on, I didn't notice that. On the sidebar here. So it's like putting their teachings into action. Oh, there's Don Quixote. Nice. Okay. Damn it, I was so close. Did you ever really take the time to think about what might happen if... Did you really take the time to think about what might happen if Big Sister Yuan Chun actually gained control over Hong Yuan? Sure, it's going to be all buddy-buddy at first. She's going to acknowledge the authority of the board of directors, butter you up, and compensate you for your efforts. But soon you're going to see people from other nests coming in here and taking up administrative positions under the guise of advisors. And it's the small families and clans that are going to suffer first. And when that time comes, I bet you'll be saying the same thing then. I was so close. It's going to be a while before other members of your family are let go. You know this already. They committed treason, thinking that they were backing off Big Sister Yuan Jun's forces, but in reality, she had already discarded them even before it began. She made sure that nothing about this treason is going to stick there. Mother, father. Now, let's think about this carefully. About Jia Yuanchun's vision for Dang Yuan Yuan. Will it be more H Corp or Q Corp? I see the point you're making. But you've not given us any reason to trust you either. What guarantee do I have that you won't just toss us aside when we're no longer useful? So about the tidings place where you put your parents you accidentally let slip? I'd known their whereabouts for a while, actually. My HQ had identified their locations long ago, but I didn't do anything, because there wasn't any evidence that pointed to your parents' involvement. Is that true? Just how low is your opinion of the hierarchy? Big Sister Yuan Chun had made a big show of her own influence at the assembly, but I still have a tight control over the HQ of the family hierarchy. But I thought you were arresting every member of the Shi family without even questioning them. What was it? What was it again? The leaders must take good care of those who are in the same boat as them. Why would any hierarch go around arresting innocent people of H Corp left and right, unnecessarily making more enemies for themselves? I sure don't plan on doing that. Oh, but taking care of children! Oh, you're the min-maxer for this one. Wait. Oh, never mind, you're just the same as, Isang, actually. Oh, so we can double min-max. Okay. Not right now, because I wanna do... I'm pretty sure there is a team up between the two of these. Maybe. There might be one with Merceau as well. Like Merceau or Honglu is what I'm guessing. There also might be one for Yisang and Otis. TKTDWK. Heh. Teaching kids to deal with kids. Heh, she says. Looks like your manager is not the only one who needs a translator. I would have liked to teach a particularly bloody art class, but... that AL black hair discarded my lesson plan. Yeah, no, I don't think your lesson plan would have flown even if Liu wasn't there. Artless or otherwise. In today's class, I'll SYNK if you're A, you A. What? But I'll SCAN if you're A, you C. Huh? I'll snap your neck completely if you're an unruly adult. But I'll soothe, coax, and nurture if you're an unruly child. Did you guys rehearse this or something? Am I getting pranked right now? No, not at all. Just listen carefully, evaluate the context, and there you have it. What context? What context was I supposed to evaluate? Let the art do the talking. MTL, kids. Yeah, there's much to learn. Class is about to begin. Bring the class material, attendant. Yes. Upon the venerable family hierarch's orders, I have brought a child from the Wang family. Why? Uh, Shiren, no. Wait, what? You brought a who from a what family who's upon whose orders? Too many travel restrictions here, so I borrowed the rich kid's attendant. You've been bringing her along to get you to places? Huh? No, I mean, just what do you think you mean you brought that kid from on my orders? Ryoshu snuffed out her cigarette, opened the window to clear out the smoke, dusted off her clothes a few times, and then brought the child to the elevated platform in front of the class. The kid's kinda trembling and anxious looking. I I extend my greetings to the venerable hierarch. That kid's scared out of his mind. Memories of childhood are important. They are the exercises that shape your future. Observe and learn. What's up with you acting serious all of a sudden? Though I do agree that childhood memories are important. My memories with Big Brother about you are what... Anyway, moving on. You heard nothing. The point is, I think becoming approachable to kids here might help prevent a lot of potential future conflicts. But you've got your work cut out for you. Children of Dangyuan Yuan are extremely wary of anyone who's not their immediate family. Even worse, you pretty much tricked that kid here using my name. He must be terrified. And I imagine his parents must have given him a whole lot of warnings too. Heh, I'll give you a demonstration. Behold. FC. Flawless class. I knew it. Don Quixote and Ryoshu. Wow, he's really taking a liking to her. He wouldn't stop crying when we tried to get him to calm down. Besides, how's she even doing that with her hands? Not even a master of martial arts move like that. Arts move like that. Ryoshu was practically giving him no time for any other distractions, or even a moment to cry. She was taking care of that kid almost effortlessly. She was employing all kinds of tactics, including, but not limited to, ventriloquism, Kongju, and traditional Hongyuan toy. Fan tricks, sugared fruits, and eventually... Don't pull too hard. The child ended up piggybacking on Ryoshu, the fear he showed earlier gone without a trace. Never would have imagined Ryoshu would be good at this. Neat. And with that, the exact same expression as her usual one, Ryoshu was gently caressing the child. Well, to be more exact, she was giving him a gentle pat. But I think I get it. Showering kids with tasty stuff and gifts isn't the best way to go about it. What's important is helping them understand just what kind of person I am. Yeah, the kid's really on edge for his age. I'd start to make some progress, but whenever he suspected I was lying or something, he'd immediately go back to being on guard. That's also because he's a Dangyuan kid. Kids don't survive this place for long if they're not quick on the uptake. Venerable Hierarch, may I ask you something? Well, asking's free, but I gotta tell you, it's gonna depend on what you're about to ask, whether I can help you or not. Wrong move, rookie Hierarch. Why say all that when TWTD DT? You don't get the immaculacy of succinct abbreviations. Ryoshi grabbed the child's shoulders, brought him before Jachi-chun, then in her usual curtness, spoke precisely 2 words to the confused child. and that seems to do the trick. Speak, kid.
Uh, it's my big sis said that when the family hierarchy war is over, I can play tons with friends. But their parents told them to stay inside because it's too dangerous outside. My cousins say that you're the biggest and baddest of Hong Yuan, Venerable Hierarch. So I wanted to ask if you can make Sang Yuan safe. I want to play with my friends.
Gotcha. I'll review your suggestion positively. He says she'll totally make it happen. Sometime later, after Shiren guided the child out of the classroom, I found Jachi Chun whispering something to herself. You got a lot on your plate, huh? Dealing with restructuring days is just one of them. I was trying to improve the safety of this place anyway, whether you asked me to or not. Safe enough for a kid like that to run around the market all on his own. A place where he doesn't have to be afraid to go outside. Dude, success in the next class? Oh, dang! Oh, dang! Okay, so we're bringing you two along. Also, I was wrong about the combo. There was none about... Okay. I want to bring both of you. And I want to... Let's see. Huh. I'm gonna see if there's one with Yisang. Because I'm curious. I know is this the best move? Considering that I know there's not one with Don Quixote. But there might be one with Yisang. I mean, we might as well try. I am a gambling man after all. The biggest thing about this is like looking for combos. Honglu. I'm also suspecting Honglu and Ryoshu. That one. Was there one with Gregor and... Did we put Gregor and... there might be one with Gregor also and like Ishmael. Oh well. In due time. Nice. Nothing. Okay, there's nothing. Isang's a master now. Nice. Also, so it is Roja. I guess for this, Gregor maybe. Seeing as Roja's giving morale, I'm gonna do Roja, Gregor, and Ishmael. I can see also one with Roja and Honglu. Roja and Honglu would also do well. I think. There's also probably a lot with Faust. Like, I haven't tried Faust Merceau. Right? I haven't tried Faust Merceau. Yeah. Faust Merceau, maybe...
re. Hmm. Anyways, I'm confident in this one. Let's go. Hopefully there is one. There has to be at least one here. You know. Is this is this part of the TKT soundtrack or Kanto 2? I can't tell since both of them are like very jazzy. You know something? Everyone communicates with their eyes even before they talk. So you better pay attention to what their eyes are saying. Oh, and they're are they playing mahjong? Great, that's really great, but I don't know. It just kind of feels like an oddly specific subject to be talking about, especially when we're sitting around a gambling table. Sinclair, given the time limit, this just happened to be the fastest and clearest method of demonstrating and training your abilities to control your emotions. I swear I had no ulterior motive. I was practically forced to do this. Ah, wait, stop glaring at us like that and join us at the table. I am only briefly visiting my lady to pick up some paperwork, as there's still much work to be done. I'll be leaving in no time. Come on, guy. You know this game needs 4 players. I refuse your invitation. I must say, it's ridiculous of you to force my lady to partake in such a base activity. And what audacity to invite me as well. Oh, so you think you don't have a chance, huh? Wow, and here I thought you'd at least be better than me at this game. Fine, fine. I get it. You don't play a game, you have a snowball's chance in hell of winning. It's a good philosophy. I subscribe to it. Do you seriously think that your shallow, obvious attempts at goading me into playing this game will work? Huh? Huh? What? Sorry, Scrub says what? Scrub says what? Get in here, you coward! So Wei joined the table. Alrighty, the lesson's pretty straightforward. You three will work together to ensure that I don't win this game. In other words, make sure I'm not number 1 by the end of it. Well, that seems easy enough. But be warned, I have the special power to read your minds without hearing even a word out of your mouths. Let me give you a demonstration. Let's see. Sinclair, I can see the corners of your lips twitching while your eyes are suspiciously wandering over there. You're looking to form a pang, aren't ya? And Chichun, you... And you want this dong tile I've got. Now that I know to never ever Now I know to never ever discard this tile. How'd you know? Honestly, it would've been tougher for us to not know. You can let yourself be anxious, sure, but don't ever let it peek through. The moment someone smells your weakness, they're gonna eat you right up. And wait, you... Using the glint of your glasses to hide your eyes, huh? Oh, this isn't gonna be easy. Your greatest mistake was allowing me to sit at this table. Yes, see, I already know the ready hand you've got there. Oh, you do? Not bad. But you're just as much of an open book, my guy. You just need that one zhong tile, don't ya? Sorry, not sorry. You're not getting that tile. 'Cause it's not there. Gang. I see. You called Gang Meld so you can claim the zhong. Which was the rearmost tile, didn't you? Does that by any chance imply that you somehow know the location of every tile in this game?
And no, hey. I just have this sixth sense for bad vibes. Hmm, very well. Never once did I think I would ever step back into this dark world of shadows, but... Huh, very well. Then I'll sell this... Hua! Aside, and... Phew, I'm impressed. They're way too intense. I can hardly get involved. Guys, isn't this supposed to be a class for us? Shh, my lady. The importance of this moment could not be overstated. I see. Swapped out your ready hand, didn't ya? What do you think? 3 Hua tiles in a row, huh? I see you've got some innate luck too. Very well then, I'll have to wager it all on this one suit. Ooh. I won. Ooh. That's Ching. You are Geo. And your downfall was written the moment you forced me to discard Zhong. Ah, darn. I lost. Huh? I lost, huh? Well played. Did you see that, my lady? Hoo! Ahem. I apologize for that vulgar display, my lady. Wei let the beast out for a second. He let the horse out for a second. I will bring some tea. Wei victorious stumbles out of the room with his shoulders slumped. I didn't just learn how to hide my feelings, I learned how to make whatever expression I want. Finally won a round against Raja. Oh yeah! Okay, I was right! Gregor and Raja. Huge success next class! Oh, and also some morale restored. Nice! Unfortunately, none for Ishmael. Nice, okay. So here's what I'm doing. Let's see. We're gonna min-max our Ren with this one. I mean, min-maxing would include you. So that's gonna be... Ooh, minus 20. That's gonna put us down. Who are passives that can boost morale? Gregor and Roja. I guess we can do... Yeah, we can do... Merceau. Wing Employees of the Month? Wait. That's the Merceau combo with Gregor, isn't it? Yeah, it is. And it gives +1 null stats. Should be good. Nice. Still not okay. So we can experiment now. Let's raise our Yun. Actually, Faust Honglu and Faust Honglu and Merceau again. Just to build up that G. Have we tried you? No, we have. Yeah, Chains of Command. All stats and morale. Oh, but I want to do one with Honglu. Actually. Honglu Gregor. Don Quixote. This is just me banking on it. Banking on like one of these guys has something. Roger. There's probably one with Roger Don Quixote. And Ishmael, maybe? Maybe also... I'm like trying to think hard about this. Okay. I'm also thinking there's Faust and Otis. I forgot if we have already done this one. I'm gonna... I don't like pairing like two morale guys together. I know there's not one with Honglu between... But maybe Roja? This is really banking on... Maybe you could do something like this, considering... But I also want to find... Because we're not treading new ground with that. Okay, let's try Merceau. I'm unsure if we've done Merceau and Ryoshu already. I want one with Honglu.
But who would pair up with Honglu? Let's say Honglu, Yisang, and maybe Don Quixote? I mean, let's try it. We're not gonna be treading new ground. Okay, yes! We have Honglu and Yisang combo. Nice. Ah, nothing for Dawn. But Dawn is a master now. Our Ren is looking really good. Day 18. We're more than halfway through already. Which is concerning. I'm very concerned. Is this enough? I mean, I have to believe it is. I'm guessing we're gonna get Heathcliff. Heathcliff and maybe Dante next. I heard from Big Bro that you sent your coins to Big Brother to you. Every hand, once in circulation, goes around and round until it eventually returns to their original owners. I also heard that some of the Wang family helped with removing their foreign powers from here. Why? I only wanted to prevent this place from getting robbed blind. I live here, you know. This is where my wealth lies. Well then, can I ask for your public support? Oh, I applaud your audacity in thinking someone who just gave you the moon should be asked for the stars as well. Everyone and their mother knows in whose hands the true political power of Hong Yuan lies right now. With that in mind, let's say that I do announce my public support for you. I'm not going to have a voice to speak with by the time the powers that be done are with me. Are done with me. Look, if Big Sis Yuan Chun genuinely believes that I'm not fit to be the family hierarch, then I'll happily remove myself from power. But she's affiliated with Q Corp. Do you seriously believe that she has Hong Yuan's best interest at heart with all those conspiracies she's been weaving under the surface? All those business deals and clearly skewed policies? I do not. But if you're going to present yourself as the alternative, then you have to be someone concrete enough to rely on. Let me just say that about half of the board of directors' votes may as well be considered abstaining votes. They're keeping their silence because they're afraid of Jia Yuan Chun's retaliation. So your remaining task is to convert those silent votes in your favor. Oh, not shaken by that at all, huh? I thought you'd get that lost and wondering look in your eyes. I guess I'll have to work on my poker face. No. Most people would have failed to pick that up. You've certainly changed since the evaluation.
Your growth shows a lot of promise. Maybe that's why he handed his coins over to you. Well, I guess that's not the only thing he handed over to you, I suppose. Hong Yuan's tomorrow. Anyways, I should probably do as I'm told for now, My cousin will be your opponent today. I won't accept you as my hierarch just yet. Fight me and prove that you're at least better than I am. Only then I'll accept you.
최고의 방책은
Get
정답을
him,
일어나지
Chichun.
않게 하는 것.
Yeah, all of the fights have been resisted fights so far.
조금씩 아픔. 다른 누구도 아닌 나 자신을 들여다봐야 해. 그 해결사의 역경에 비하면
Nice. What? Do you have something to say to my face? Yeah. Don't give my little brother your crap. Your little brother? You know who I'm talking about. Do you have any idea of the mess you left behind when you yoinked that kid away? Oh, that buzzcut kid was her little brother. You can barely even hold onto your seat, which you're about to lose soon anyway, and you have the gall to give him false hope. I know it's all just politics to you, but kids really believe you, you know? I heard from the kid that you seemed relieved upon hearing what I said. Told me you were happy for once to hear that he had a fun time after being barred from playing with his friends with how things are in Hongyuan. Just shut up. Besides, it's not all just hot air. What? I wasn't making any empty promises when I said I'll change Hongyuan to be a place where everyone can live without fear. And for that, I'm going to protect my seat of power, no matter what it takes. You'll fail. Not with you on my side. We all know what big sister Yuan Chun's Hong Yuan looks like. It'll be the same in essence, and will be the same for the foreseeable future. Tell me, are you sure you're okay with handling over that same burden we've carried all our lives to your little siblings? No, of course not. Wang Qishan left in a hurry. But that look in her eyes told me that there was conflict brewing in her. Oh, Nexus. Nexus Heathcliff. But anyways. Can I save? Yeah, I can. Because I think I'm gonna end it for now. I've been like streaming for a couple hours now. Oh, that is so fun. It really does remind me of like Uma Musume in like the training stuff. Like that's going on.
식사는 했는가? 이
So I'm having
근처에
fun with that. But let's see. Yeah. I was about to say achievements. Just claim them all. Ooh, a lot. Which ones have I completed? Midterm, third term. Tip-top morale, 7 days in a row, let's go! A Yi-Sang class 3 times, Faust class 3 times. Also, with this done, I can overextend now into the okay range. Faust class 3 times, Don Quixote class 3 times, Mel Gregor going at 400. Okay. Which one do I still need to do? 10 class combos, 15 class combos. And we need to reach 800. Oh, our G needs to be 400. And we need to take Rodions, Otis's, Heathcliff's. Okay. Dang, that means we've only done Otis once. So that would mean... That means we haven't seen that many Otis combos yet. There might be one with Faust. Anyways, I think I'm gonna call it here. Thank you to everyone who has joined the stream. Even if you joined for even like a small bit. I appreciate it. Anyways. I'm gonna stream this like another time. Maybe next week. Like just before like the stream ends. Not stream, the event ends. But anyways. Thank you once again for joining me. I will now leave. Goodbye.